Hmm. Oh, you got the Great Republic up, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it up and posted.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hang on here. Wrong thing. Oh, now she's barking. She just came in. You little bugger.
Who is it?
Oh, it's Gracie.
Oh yeah, she wants attention.
Well, I don't know if she wants attention, wants back outside. She's in the kitchen, right?
Uh-huh.
So, okay. Yeah, I think what happened, she wants attention, and then, okay, what the heck's going on here? Okay, there we go. Yeah, she wants attention, and then you go to let her go outside, and she don't want to go outside. So, go. Well, my sister dropped supper off for me again tonight.
Oh, what'd you get?
I had roast pork, potatoes,
Oh,
carrots.
my,
But
my.
oh yeah, it was delicious. Yeah.
You're living in style.
Yeah. But see what I got on the stove for tomorrow?
Oh, you got stew or what is it?
Yep, that's stew. Venison stew. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, got it for the wow, it's gonna cook it up. It's just cooking now, so takes about 6 hours, 7 hours.
Well, cool.
I might invite my friends over for supper tomorrow night. We'll see. I got some buns, fresh buns, and well, I had to go get some groceries, so I needed a few things to put into it. So
Yeah. Well, it's it was cold out flying those ships today. Whoa.
yeah.
And the wind was just a howling. In fact, there was one gust of wind just about knocked me over.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not saying it's that cold, but it says 27 degrees, but it feels like 14. So
Yeah, it's 21 here right now.
yeah, and they said it's going to go down to 10 tonight.
Yeah.
But the next 2 days are going to be really, really cold.
Really cold the next couple of days. That's right. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to look up where I got to go tomorrow. Got an agent wants to sign up in London tomorrow. Rosalind, where are we? 87 Knights Bridge.
Hey guys.
Hey, Rob.
Miss Rob.
87.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's all right, man. You guys?
Oh, still alive, still kicking.
Yes. Hey, Marcel.
Where's that?
Marcel, how you doing? Marcel, there's a link up there, or I can send you one. Link at the top of the chat.
So we come up. Where's Wonderland? There's Colonel. Oh, it's just off Colonel Talbot Road, man. Oh, it's up by Springbank Garden. Okay. Got it.
I don't know what's going on with my computer. You know, the one that usually runs this screen?
Yeah.
It won't hook up to the internet. It says it wants some identification or something.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Maybe I should just restart it, you know? You see the martini bar is still going.
Yeah.
The teeny martini bar. A few people there.
Yep.
Let me see if, let me check, maybe I'll try that connection.
Hmm. Okay. So how do I get to this place? Okay, go up Colonel Talbot Road to Southdale. Okay, turn right. First road to the left. Okay. Oh, it's kind of hidden up in there. Okay. It's in behind Westmount Mall. Yeah, I got to go put a sign up in London tomorrow. So
How's Laura doing? Rob,
Yeah, she's okay.
David is. When's the funeral?
I don't know. I didn't go into it. I just I don't know. Let him speak when he's ready to speak. Yeah, okay, Marcel.
up here comes Mr. Dave Ennis is coming into the house.
Oh,
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Davey.
Guys,
How you doing?
Hey.
doing pretty good.
Good.
hey, Dave.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Good.
Good to see you or hear from you, Ellen, I should say.
Oh, thank you. Just got done eating.
Lenny.
Hey,
Hi,
Lynn's in
Lynn.
the house.
Hey,
Yep.
Lynn.
The
Hey, Mike.
yeah. So I got all three of them up and posted. So I guess that's a positive note.
There's some reading for you.
Oh, God.
That's very pointed. Yes.
Wow.
Poignant.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I'm gonna laugh when I start seeing that one.
Yeah. God. We should all have that as our backgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So you got your nano ordered?
Me, yeah. Yeah, I bought a couple of other things as well.
Did they say about how long before you're going to get it, or
About a week, I think.
okay?
Mm.
So, yeah, they're ordering it from the US. So, hey, Lynn. But then I've seen other videos where it doesn't
Yeah,
look
let's go
so
outside.
good.
Mike Rennick.
go outside.
Hey, Mike.
Okay, come on, let's go. No, she just wants up. That's what she wants. Ugh. Guess who's on my lap?
Gracie.
That's Gracie.
Yeah, she just wanted my attention. I thought she wanted to go outside, but no. She just wants the attention.
Oh, I love that name, Gracie, for the dog. I really do.
Yeah,
I like the name, full stop.
yeah. Well, Gracie is fine. Yeah, I've always liked beagles, but my other little bugger here, he just follows me everywhere. Doesn't matter where I go. If I have to run upstairs for a minute, he follows me upstairs, or I was doing laundry and, he'd follow me and do,
Yeah.
be just everywhere. He's always sitting usually right here with me. Gracie's a little more independent, so.
Oh. What are you doing today, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike Rennick, it's in the house. Hey. Oh, you didn't know there, Paul. I had a funny little story today.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister went and seen Bonnie today, right?
Yeah.
And so, anyways, my sister was asking Bonnie. She said, "Do you know Paul was here yesterday?" Yeah, he was in there. She said, "What are you talking about in there?" He was in my closet.
Oh, no.
Well, they transferred her from one room to another, and some of her stuff was just laid on the chair, and her coat and everything they brought from the other room, right? So, anyways, well, there's no place to sit down last night, so I was putting stuff in her closet last night. So they said she must have seen me when I went into the closet, but
Oh,
that's all she could remember was me in the closet. He was in there. Okay, sounds like she wants out this time. Okay.
Gracie. Yeah, that's quite a name. It kind of fits her too. Gracie.
hey, Gracie Allen.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Yeah. And when Gracie
Proud of-
died, it was George Burns and a hot babe on each arm and a big cigar.
Yep. Yep. He was a short little guy though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't very big.
So anybody get it? Mike, what have you been up to today? Marcel, did you get a chance to do any flying or?
I got out today.
Okay. we'll go to-
Hey, Dave. Lynn
Yeah.
says a great show. She loved Topper too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some of those old shows.
Yeah.
The youngins wouldn't remember them.
Some of them were before my time, but they would replay them when I was young and I'd watch them. A lot of black and white stuff. Of course, when I was young, all we had was a black and white TV.
Yeah, we wrapped up today on the one location we did.
I'm trying to find some pictures.
So Marcel, the weather's still bad out there? You haven't gotten a break?
Hmm.
Oh, cold is coming to you out there, Mike. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I flew 3 ships today and it was gusting to 45 and was sustained at about 28 to 35.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, that little Air 2S, I'll tell you what, it sure does really great.
Hmm.
It's kind of fun though landing it afterwards because it comes down, you go do the landing and it's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to land into the wind, which helps a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll show you the last one I did here.
Yeah.
A
Hey,
great
Bill. Sorry, Bill. I've still been trying to get through computer problems.
Yeah.
I have.
You still battling that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been resetting now for the last couple of hours.
Hey, there's the Great Republic.
Wow, it's a big one as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Shit.
Hey, Wiltram,
Yeah,
how's the job going?
yeah, good. Yeah, we wrapped up the one location today.
Good. You hang in
Mm.
there.
Yeah,
Oh, so you were able to fly today?
yeah,
Good.
yeah. We had a really nice day today.
Yeah, it was just before dark, Rob.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, nice one, Alice.
Yeah, I decided at the last minute to run down and get that. What are you doing? Stop wrestling with the love seat. So, Bill, how you doing? How's things in Newfoundland?
Any idea when you will get that printer, Bill? He's down the route now with 3D printing.
Oh,
He's bought one.
he's got the bug now.
And he will have. Oh.
I know. Come here. So,
See Stephen over at those guys from Flyby Guys.
yep, I saw him. He was on there.
Yeah, he's stuck in Singapore or something like that.
Yeah, he's 14-day quarantine or something.
Yeah. God, I wouldn't want that.
I think it was Hong Kong, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere like that. But, that sucks. Then 14 days.
You're a goofball. Yes, you are.
I'm after having 4 printers.
Hey, Bill from Newfound Dome Productions. Good evening. I meant to say that earlier.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Yeah, I hope it works out well for you, Bill.
Oh, Bill's got 4 printers. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think he's got 4 now, or he's had some over the past. I don't know. Perhaps he has got the 4 then. Well, I'm not sure if they were smaller ones, and this is a bigger one.
I hear
Yeah,
the bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep, Lynn's right. If you're traveling, you're quarantined on your own dollars.
Okay.
Oh, look at there. Look at
Ooh.
there.
That's supper for tomorrow. So,
Oh,
Slow
wow.
cooker.
yep. Okay, but there was another picture I was looking for. Oh, here they are. Cool. Okay, so there is. Okay, cool. So my stupid dog. I was cutting up cardboard boxes today because I got some of those big posts that come in. That's well, I tried
Greasy, isn't it?
yeah, that's crazy, but there, this is inside the box.
What, she didn't know how to get out or what?
Oh, she got out, but I just what the hell? I can
Yep.
see the cat doing that, but not the dog. Just stupid. Well, like I was cutting them up to get rid of them because I took the posts out of them,
Sure.
and that's what they were shipped in, these big long square boxes, right? And stupid dog. And I'm trying to cut them up, and she's in there trying to help me, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny. That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
So
How's
Rob,
it
you,
been,
you gotta fly more for the job this week, or
yeah, back tomorrow. Just different location.
so what is it, every day for a while or what?
I don't know. I think it will be this week. It's supposed to be further. It's supposed to be next week and things, but because we got a bit of a break in the weather, they brought it forward.
Okay.
So all I know is tomorrow, and then I don't know then from there.
And you're flying the Inspire, right?
Yeah,
What, with the X5 camera or
X7.
X7? Okay. How's it? You've been looking at the footage. How's it been looking?
Up to now, pretty good. But I've still got a load. Yeah, this is why I'm flapping about the computer.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I got a friend who comes with me, Lynn, who acts as my spotter and second pilot and everything else.
Helps lug the equipment around. And
Yeah, just
well, that's good. I didn't think you were lugging Laura around.
yeah. No.
That'd almost be funny though if Laura was your assistant, you'd say, "Hey, I need
Oh
this.
my god!
What do you need that
Imagine
for?"
the arguments. Like an old married couple, wouldn't it?
The banner would be back and forth. That's for sure. Yeah, it's going to get bitterly cold. I don't know if it's not too windy, where I fly those ships, I pull up right there and launch. So as long as I have a warm car to get back in, but it's the wind that really kills it.
Oh yeah, the wind.
And I think it's going to be windy for the next several days, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it's gonna be not according to the UAV forecast, not gonna be good for quite a few days. So
Did you anybody see Captain Drone's review today of the V-copter?
Yeah.
oh yeah. Because
Yeah,
after
what-
watching that, I wouldn't buy one.
Yeah.
No.
He liked it and didn't like it.
Well, he just didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's quite bad, wasn't it? Quite a lot of other things.
But he
Like
really
20
had a
minutes
hard
for the
time.
Satellites.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just trying to get
satellite.
satellites. Like
Yeah.
holy crap,
Yeah,
man.
20 minutes.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That'd discourage me right off the bat.
Yeah, and then with the stuttering, with the obstacle avoidance and
Yeah.
and everything else. I think the only good thing was it was quiet.
Well, the only thing is, Rob, is I don't use all the extras on those copters. I don't use follow.
I think there's no
I-
extras on it.
I don't. Oh yeah, it's got follow me because remember he walked around behind the tree.
That's the only thing it has got.
And what else did he say it didn't have?
Well, there was one that went away from him too.
Ah, just a droney.
Yeah, Droney or whatever. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would make me nervous doing a droney because the only obstacle avoidance I think that copter has is on the front, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, that's what it gets.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Go.
That's a spotter's car.
Yep. See, I got my spotters with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the droney that went away from him backed away, and I don't think it has any rear
No, it
collision.
hasn't.
No,
Sensor.
don't.
No,
No,
only
just on the
frontwards.
front.
So
Just
wouldn't
on
that,
the-
wouldn't that make you nervous? Maybe taking off backwards away from you? It's like, oh my God.
But the thing is too, that obstacle avoidance, it kept going wonky all the time. And there was nothing
Yeah.
around them.
Yeah.
It was, I just went, I ain't touching that one.
But it's right what he said there. In 2019, it would have been good.
Yeah.
But now, 2022,
Yeah.
because he thinks they took, was it like the Flightster from a
2016 Mini.
Phantom? Or
I
Mini,
think he
yeah.
said a Mini. I think 2016 Mini. He said it was, yeah. But it's such old technology already, right?
Yeah,
And it took him so long just to get it out.
yeah.
But
yeah,
he
and
did
that-
say it. He said at the very end though that there was an update he hasn't done yet. So
Yeah, but still, over $1,000 it's expensive, isn't it, for that?
yeah, oh yeah. The only good thing I've seen about it, I had a 50-minute flight time, but then
Yeah,
so you're only powering 2 motors though.
Hmm.
You're not powering up 4 motors, right?
so that would only be half as good in the wind end, would it?
I don't know. He had that thing in sport mode. It was moving pretty good, but what did he say? 10 meters per second or something? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, I'm not sure.
That's about 30 feet a second, which that's boogieing, but still for what it is, it's just yeah.
But then I've seen some videos now of the Nano, which I just ordered, with a lot of jello in the picture.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, what made me nervous about the Nano, because I know you were ordering it, was did you see Ken Heron's?
Yeah, with a battery.
Yeah. Not only that, but when he flew the Mini 2, it was straight and level. And when he flew the Nano, I noticed it kind of moved side to side a little bit,
Yeah,
like it was
But-
wandering.
I think that what was causing that was collision avoidance.
I don't know.
It was trying to analyze like where I want to go, right?
yeah.
But he said
Marcus,
but he took off didn't he fly that though with the obstacle avoidance off? I'm not
I
sure.
thought it was off, but I
Yeah.
don't know enough about octals.
Yeah. Yeah.
don't know. He went through the tunnel thing,
Yeah.
didn't he? And then it lost signal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or weak signal
Yeah.
or something. He was pretty impressed, though, wasn't he, with the camera and things, I think.
Yeah.
But Marcus Crawford, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was seeing jello and other things in it. I can't remember who else. Somebody else I watched, they're not happy at all. Something, I don't know if I jumped the gun getting it so early.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should have waited 6 months until all these errors and bugs and updates are all done.
Mm.
Yeah. The
Sometimes with the drones, you're better off being last to the party, and
well, in my case, I being older, I don't like change. So therefore, I don't want to have to learn the intricacies of a new controller and try to remember, okay, now if I want the controller to do this, how's it different than the DJI system, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm pretty much stuck with DJI now.
Did I say about? Did I tell you about Mikey's video from Philly Drone Life?
Yes.
Where he put a video up? I do like him and I find him funny, but showing that he's at nearly 600 foot.
Yeah.
And then, oh God. And I was with a Maverick 3, that was.
Yeah, it's just everybody's pushing the envelope. Everybody's trying to
Mhm.
outdo one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he was at like 5,500 foot, and then he started doing the master shots, which that would have took him up maybe another 150 foot.
Yeah.
But you didn't see the telemetry for that. But so when he was at the statue, he was more or less level with it, and there was like 5,500, and then he started doing master shots and dronies.
Well, so he was at 500 feet by a statue.
Yeah, he was. Statue was.
It's not
Statue was.
it's over here. There is no 500 feet. There is no 400 foot maximum. It's a 400 foot circle around whatever it is and 400 feet above it. So in other words, like if you went to the Statue of Liberty, you could go up to, I think it's 1,500 feet, 400 feet around it, like a cylinder.
Is it?
Yes. Because otherwise you could never get the top of a building. So it's 400 feet. You away from the building, you can go right on up and keep right on going up. And then 400 feet
All right. Yeah.
top of it.
Yeah.
It's like a dome.
It
I
was
thought-
the William Penn.
I thought you were talking about he was doing it out in the middle of nowhere.
No.
Yeah, it's called.
He
It's
said in
called.
the one part, I'll just have to sneak above 400 a minute.
But see, that's is as long as he's 400 feet within that
Yeah,
cylinder
yeah.
around it,
Yeah.
you can go 400 feet.
Yeah,
above.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same over here.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
Curtis
I
Dart.
Hey,
I always
Curtis.
go off
Yeah.
landmarks, not off buildings. Because
Yeah,
we don't have.
Curtis is right. You're a 107 pilot.
Ah, okay, Curtis.
Commercial, or like Paul Hodges has got commercial in Canada.
Yeah.
He was bloody up there anyway. I'll give him that.
Curtis, did you buy the Mavic 3 or a newer drone? I know you're doing those submersibles, but did you get a new air drone at all recently?
Yeah, that's right, Marcel. I see some FPV-5 pilots, and they're above 400. God, I was watching one the other day. Oh my God, was he a boy? And then just diving.
They like to dive buildings.
He was just out in the flat land and just went up and up and up, and a huge dive down.
Get a dive down, huh? Hey, Rob, have you flown your DJI FPV at all?
No, I was going to this weekend, but obviously I was stuck with work. Yeah, good. It's Philly. Oh wow, 12K on an ROV.
Oh,
What one would that be, Curtis? There's a beast of a one for that.
Oh. But then that's like buying that new Sony drone.
Yeah, without the gimbal and anything, isn't it?
Yeah. Just the cost of the drone alone is what's it like?
It's nine or 10,000, I think.
9 or 10 grand just for the
Then
drone.
you've got the gimbal,
Yeah.
and then I think like a cheapest, one of the cheapest cameras which goes on with. I think it was about 20,000 all in.
Yeah.
I think I might be wrong.
You got to be pretty serious to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
Unless you got a really booming business or something where you can write it all off to the business. Like if you were going to pay tax, if you were
Here it
gonna,
is. Lots of money underwater and no rules. Yeah, it is.
so last I knew, Curtis was doing underwater inspections with his ROVs.
That's what he's bought. Then, haven't he? A new one of them. How deep down will that one go then, Curtis?
He's got some good videos up.
I gotta be subscribed to him, surely. His name goes blue. Yeah, I am. Why haven't I seen any of his videos then? It's because there's nothing recent. Oh, look at that one. Oh, he going here, which gets into a fight with a crab. I'll watch that one.
300-foot cable on there.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm liking this channel.
Hey, Paul's back. Hey, and there's Justin.
yeah, I just sat down. The damn dog wants in already. Jeez.
What's up?
Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Good, good.
Just a vision.
Just a vision.
You always bring out the bad in me.
What y'all doing?
Well, just the same old stuff, you know.
From you. How you doing, bud?
Everybody's
Yes, you-
playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Start that stuff in the morning.
Oh, you start tomorrow. Now,
Yeah.
how you're studying from home, or do you go out on the road?
No, I'm supposed to do, I think, 2 to 3 days of online training here at the house.
Oh, okay.
And then I go for do like a week's worth of training with somebody.
Marcel.
Oh, Marcel. Let me know what it is, Marcel.
Well, you know, some of that stuff they put in the chats aren't even links, and it's like, what? I don't understand what they're doing. It's just a
No,
bunch of random letters.
It's code. It's code.
That one does make you think, doesn't it? Vum.gong.
What's up, new fam? So I was watching that video he did of that ship earlier. Man, there was a lot of ice on the front of that thing.
Who done what?
Oh, I said I was watching that video he did earlier of the ship,
Well, who
and
done?
there was the
Bill
one
or
of Paul,
Paul?
Paul,
Ah, okay.
and there was a lot of freaking ice on it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That came down all the way up from Superior, way up. JD, good
Wow,
evening.
it's a close-up view.
Yeah, he's all dressed up, got a studio
Yeah,
mic.
yeah.
Look at him.
JD, man, he
Wow,
Hey,
Looks
all
woohoo.
blacked out.
looks all professional. I feel out of place.
And he looks
Is he
super
going to
serious.
speak or is he just looking?
He's probably
Yeah.
trying to figure out his audio.
Earth to JD.
Yeah.
Hey, AZ.
Mr. Easy Joe Dude. All right.
Hello, gentlemen, and
How's it
Justine.
going?
Hey,
Good, you sound good.
Yeah, thank you for coming in because you're putting us to shame. We look like a bunch of bums
You guys
compared to
hear
you. You know.
Yeah.
Or were you trying to figure out
Can you
which
hear me?
Realtek's audio driver you were using? I can
Oh,
hear you
boy.
fine. You sound fine.
He's having some kind of trouble.
He's probably trying to figure out
What the
which,
heck? This was working earlier.
Yeah.
because like my computer has like 6 or 7 different Realtek's audio drivers, and you got to find the one you need.
Oh,
Woohoo.
Gracie must have texted Mia because now Mia wants to play the in and out. I'll be right back. Say hello to Curtis when he comes in. Hey,
Yep, there he is, Curtis.
Hey,
Hey,
Curtis.
must be in the man cave.
Still nothing.
I
Yeah,
can,
no, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right, good. It's too
Can
loud.
you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I think I had
Okay.
the YouTube going, so it was getting weird.
No, you're good. It's
Oh.
working fine. You sound fine.
Yeah.
It's a nice big upgrade there.
Yeah, I had the mic, so I figured I'd figure it out and use it.
Hey,
Like a Marcel. He's saying
Yeah.
the same.
So, hey, Curtis.
come in.
Oh.
Well, can't hear you.
Marcel, AZ, Newfound.
Nope. Can't hear you, Curtis. No microphone.
And I'm not that good at reading lips, but
There.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, it's
I
something
think
there
that was
going.
feedback.
Yeah.
JD, they said you look like you're coming from
That better?
church.
Yep, that's better.
There we go.
Testing 1 2 3 4 testing 1 2 3 4 test one up. Turn it down. Turn it down.
Right there is good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
So how you
Oh.
doing, Curtis? I'm not that good at reading lips.
Well, everybody was asking me questions about the ROV, so I figured I'd jump in. And
That's good. Yep.
easy.
Now, when you said that, was it the same manufacturer you're staying with that you started out with the ROVs, or?
Why am I getting an echo? Hang on 1 second.
Mute YouTube.
Yeah.
You got YouTube muted in the background.
Got it.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Let me reboot that. Get that going so I can follow the chat. Did I lose everybody?
Nope. No, you're doing fine.
All right, cool.
Oh, good.
All right. Got it running. All right. So what were the questions now? No questions now.
Tell us about your latest purchase on the ROV.
Yeah.
So this is my third one. The first one I got was the Gladius Mini,
Yeah.
and it had limitations into what it could do. It basically it could go up, down, turn left, right, and all that stuff, but it couldn't do any lateral movement. It could not go straight across while pointing straight ahead. So any
Okay.
sort of inspection, like a ship hull inspection or something like that, was just pretty much impossible to do. Let me pull this up real quick. Hang on 1 second. Okay, there we go. I'm liking that better. I can see that and do this. If I resize that, there we go. so I started playing around with that, but I really couldn't do anything with it. And it also had some limitations as far as connectivity. It would lose connection with the drone when it was underwater. I mean, it's tethered, so it's no big deal. You just reel it in. And then I did that for one summer, and then I kind of put it away and was like, this is never going to work. It's not going to be a big thing. I'm out $1,000. It cost me like $1,000. And then they came out with a new one. A different company came out with a new one, and the company is QYC, and they have the Five Fish. And this is the Five Fish V6S, and it was $1,800 with the claw. And the claw really was what sold me on the idea of getting back into it again, because before I'd go see stuff, but I couldn't do anything with it. I mean, I'd see something cool down there and I couldn't pick anything up. So I got that and I started playing around with it. And some buddies around here also got one, and we started messing around. And then we started getting job offers like crazy. We started finding all kinds of crazy stuff underwater as well and bringing it up. We found pistols. I mean, the list goes on and on of what we've been finding. And then I got in contact with an engineering company and asked them about how they go about doing inspections and stuff like that. And then basically they said, well, what happens is we contact a diver and send a diver out, and they usually put a GoPro on their wrist, and we tell them, hey, there's bridge pylon L2 at 65 feet. We need some good video and photos of the damage that was done because a boat hit it last week or something like that.
Yeah.
And inevitably they never get what they want. So I got in contact again with the folks at QYC and talked to them about it. And they sent me this new one and said, you got to try this out because you can now live stream with this thing. So now I can put it in the water and I can contact the engineering company. And in this case, it's a company in Dubai. And I can send a live stream link to them through a private server. It's not through YouTube. I can go on YouTube and Facebook too, but I can send a live stream to them, and they can tell me in real time, hey, go left. Oh, go down 2 feet. This is not where the damage is. This is actually worse below. So then I can go down a little bit further and get the exact footage they want. Not only that, a diver, because the temperature of the water up here is limited about how much time he can spend underwater.
Yeah.
And just the whole health and safety thing, isn't it? It's safer and thing in it to send a
Well,
Oh yeah, it's a
thing down rather
whole
than
lot safer.
How long, Curtis, can it stay down? I mean,
So there are a couple of options right now. I haven't tried it for this long, but it's in theory I could stay down for 2 hours. But there is also a shore power with this thing, and I can hook up shore power, or if there's a generator on a boat, I can hook up to the generator on a boat and run off that for all day. We got to remember, most divers can really only go. I mean, I know you can go lower, but most divers can go on average about 100 to 150 feet, I think it is.
okay.
So yeah, I can go down to 300 feet and boom, got it covered. The only thing that I've run into so far, and this was last year that it happened, as far as rules go, was I went out with a friend on his boat, and he had just bought a beautiful $30,000 boat, and he wanted to go out and practice laying his anchor. He's a new boater, and he wanted to see if he was laying his anchor correctly. So I thought, well, it's a great opportunity. You go out, throw your anchor down. I'll go down and get some footage of it. And he was like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. So we went out and did that. Well, on the way back, I said, hey, do you mind if we stop before you get to the pier and where all these boats are, and I can dive around there, see if there's any junk in the water and maybe pick something up, something interesting. So he said, sure. So he stopped the boat, dropped the anchor, and I put the thing in the water. The owner of the pier comes out and starts yelling at me, you're on private property. You can't do that on my property. I'm calling the Coast Guard. Calls the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard shows up, and Ron's here. Ron Lockwood's here, so he's going to back me up on this. The rules as far as a pier goes is you own the land that's under the pier. You own the pier, but you don't own the water that goes between the pier and the land.
Yeah.
It's been a contingent thing for the longest time. The Coast Guard, and this is what the Coast Guard told me, the only thing they said that really they would kind of intervene in is if I was doing my thing and I was blocking somebody who rented space at that pier. If I was blocking them from coming in, then they would say something. But there really is not a rule against it. It's just a courtesy thing.
Right.
So that's really the only thing I've run into.
Yeah.
They don't want you getting,
Sure.
you know, the private piers, they don't want you getting on their piers. I get that, you know, it's liability if I fall off the pier or something like that happens. But most of the stuff I do, I go out on a boat and we launch from the boat.
He was found dead in his hotel room in Orlando.
Now, is there any restrictions on like how much current you can handle? Like,
There is. I haven't done any rivers. Most everything I've done has been out in Puget Sound, so there's a tide involved, and much like aerial drones, there's expo settings in there. You can turn your expo settings way down so that you have slow revolutions, and when you give it throttle, you're not just zipping through the water. So a lot of my stuff I'll turn down because I want to do like a, you know, if this is the pier, I want to do a slow orbit around it and capture all of the imagery that I possibly can. So I have gotten caught on out with the tide coming in and had to crank up the expo on it. But I haven't run into a situation where it's getting away from me and I couldn't handle it.
That's
So,
good.
so with your claw, how much weight can you pick up?
There's a video on my channel with in fact, it's the very first time I took out the Five Fish V6S, and there was a child's steel bicycle handle, and I pulled that out of the water like nothing.
Like you're limited to a couple, 3 pounds, 5 pounds?
Yeah, but there's some other tools that we can use.
what I was wondering, Curtis, is
Hang on, let me grab a couple things. Hang on one second. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
All right, JD. What happened, JD?
Hey, Ron, how's it going tonight?
Oh, I guess
Oh yeah, holy crap.
Home.
J-
If you,
Bob
Wow.
Saget passed away.
JD's looking good, isn't he? He's got his setup working.
hey, if you guys want to
Bob
watch,
Saget.
yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
watch a really cool video or channel, kind of like what Curtis is talking about, watch Adventures. What's it? Adventures with Purpose. These guys have found.
Yes, I know them.
They go out and try to find missing persons that have gone underwater.
Yeah.
That's a dive team. They've
Wow.
found so many people's loved ones in the past couple of years. It's insane. They got tons of videos
Crazy.
where they've actually found their cars in the water and were able to pull up their bodies and everything.
They done one with Diesel Brothers, didn't they?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched
Hey.
quite a few of their videos. But it's really good.
About 6 months ago they did.
Curtis has got a
Wow, I think
demonstration.
it's massive.
Oh,
Oh, there we are.
Wow.
So this is the one. This is the Five Fish V6S. This is the cheaper model. This is the one with the claw on it.
That you said the V6S?
Yeah, the V6S.
Yeah, okay. I'm just looking at it here on the webpage. Oh, go.
This is the V6 Expert, and I don't have anything mounted on it right now, but I just got a new kind of claw. This one right here.
Oh,
Yeah. That's perfect for my drone. I mean, yeah.
So what this is this is education time for you guys.
yeah.
Does anybody know what a mort is?
A what?
M-O-R-T?
No.
Mort?
I had no idea either.
Yeah.
This is a mort remover. So anytime you have a fish farm, and generally speaking, it's open water fish farms, like a salmon farm or something like that. There's a certain amount
Oh,
of
yeah.
fish that die.
Yep.
Or they get disease, and the disease is passed by them bumping into each other. So you want to remove those fish. This is what you use to
Oh.
remove fish.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So are
Shoot.
those two cameras, one on each part of it, or the
I'm sorry,
little?
what-
Are those cameras on there? I see little.
no, these are floats.
Oh, okay.
These
Oh.
are ballast floats. And you can move these around to different positions and stuff. There's saltwater and freshwater setups. I run all saltwater, so it never changes for me.
What's the difference then? Oh, buoyancy, I suppose, isn't it?
Buoyancy.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you'd want neutral buoyancy wherever you're going, right?
And then here's my rig.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So
okay.
they haven't they haven't really come up with an adapter for the Triple Tech yet to mount on here. So I got this off of Seacraft.
Of the 3D printing something.
Well, you know, if there's a bone of contention, it's this unit right here. This feels like a DJI unit, which
Right.
is when you're playing with a $12,000 underwater drone, it's like ROV, it's like you want something a little bit better. They are coming out with something similar to a smart controller with the panel built right into it. And
Okay.
they're working with Triple Tech to design this thing.
So are you getting some a fair amount of work with that thing or what?
Yeah, and I'm not even trying.
Yeah.
You know, somebody said there hasn't been much stuff on my YouTube channel. It's because I'm too busy working.
Good though.
I've got a friend of mine lives up in Canada. Since you know we're always talking about Canada, he does sonar readings on the bottom of what do you want to call them? Shitholes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and does a count of how much, or does a volumetric measurement of how much is down there. You can mount sonar on these things and measure the bottom.
Huh.
And most of them are concrete, so they know where the bottom is, and they're able to figure out how much is in there.
You have to hire some poor sucker to clean that thing every time though.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, I'd never heard of it, but he got one of these and he was telling me about it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go to a wastewater treatment plant and stick my ROV in there.
Well, thanks.
Hey,
But I'm also hearing about water
That's a
tower
one use only.
inspections.
Water tower inspections would be good. Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that are doing. I'm not really excited about climbing up a water tower, but yeah, you can hook a hose up. There's some adapters you can hook up to these things with hoses, and you can literally put it in there and suck up the sediment that's in the bottom of a water tower.
Wow.
Yeah.
oh,
That's a pretty good job for, you know, once a year in where however many water towers you have around. No
Mhm.
limitations on that, you know.
yeah.
Wow,
They're
that's
probably
amazing.
going to want you to have some kind of insurance to let you climb up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's generally been a guy in a waterproof suit and diving down there with, and it's just much safer to do. You don't have to get into an enclosed environment. You know,
Mhm.
it's just a lot, for lack of a
Well,
better
that's
word, it's
awesome.
safer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super
Hey,
smart.
Chuck. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron, so how's it feel to be back home, buddy?
Weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time you've been home in a while, isn't it?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
Is your gaggle
Chuck.
of deer, are they still hanging there?
I don't know. Actually, most of the snow's almost gone. I saw one down the road, but I went outside in the porch and I have my little canister
Yeah.
right by the back deck, and I went out there and rattled it and didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might take them a day or
Check on
two to
the-
realize I'm back.
Yeah.
Chuck, are the Maverick 3 on the way?
Mavic
What's that,
3.
Rob?
Chuck, Covaction. He's in the chat.
Yeah.
He's just ordered the Maverick 3.
Oh, he ordered the Mavic.
You don't,
Hey,
oh,
Chuck.
okay.
Well, he says it's on its way.
Wow.
Jeez.
I think
Hey,
I'm gonna
Chucky. Yeah.
be with you, Rob, or I think I'm gonna get that Nano Plus.
Nano Plus. I'm seeing some bad stuff though as well, Ron.
Was it you guys this morning that was saying something about what's his name
Ken Aaron.
on Idaho or
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
thought that he
he's
was getting some
jello
jello
in the
effect or
picture.
something?
Yeah, but for every one bad review I've heard on that thing, I've heard 10 good ones. So
Oh yeah,
I mean,
somebody's gonna write a bad review about everything.
all right.
You
I've
know?
heard
I've
way
seen
more
it.
good than bad.
And I gotta admit, in being a previous hotel owner, their customer service is pretty good. They make it right,
Yeah. I ordered mine yesterday.
you know.
So Curtis, are you still flying drones, or have you just switched over completely to ROVs?
No, I'm still flying. Well, weather's been really bad up here. I don't know if you guys are following. We've had record rain.
Yep.
We've had now 3 flood events. In fact, the last one was so bad it actually flooded over Interstate 5. So
Oh.
between the snow in the mountains, the southbound going towards Portland, Interstate 5 was closed because there's water over the roadway and it was underwater. And then so we couldn't go south. We couldn't go north because of avalanche over Snoqualmie Pass and all the different passes.
Really? Wow.
Or, I'm sorry, we couldn't go east. And then we couldn't go north because of COVID. So we basically became an island for a while.
Okay. It's crazy.
But yeah, we had two snow events and 3 flood events, and we've had record rainfall this year. The weatherman said today, he goes, it's going to be 50 degrees today, full sun, no clouds, but good luck. It's going to be so foggy because there's so much, the ground is so saturated with water, it just vaporized everything. So you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you.
I remember the near
yeah, I'm still
panic
flying,
attack.
just not right now.
Curtis, I had that near panic attack on the 5. Remember when I was up by you last summer?
Yep.
At 5. Oh, Jesus. Going into Seattle. Ugh. On a motorcycle. That was not fun.
Yeah, it's an interesting, it gets interesting around here at times. There was one other thing I was going to tell you guys about the ROV and something that I really want to get into, but I'm not sure there's any money in it. Are you guys familiar with ghost fishing? Ron, don't say anything.
No.
With what? Sorry.
So ghost fishing is generally speaking like when you put down crab pots or fishing nets and you lose them. For instance, you set down a crab pot and the tide comes in and it picks it up and carries it away because you have a float that's showing you where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have enough tether on that float, then the tide can come away, pick it up and move it somewhere where you can't find it. Well, then it becomes a self-baiting trap. So eventually the bait gets eaten, but they can't get out. So then they die. So more crabs crawl in, eat the other crabs. The other fish come in, they eat those.
Yeah, no.
And it just becomes a ghost trap. Well, there's a big move to try to get all those removed, but nobody's ponying up the money to send us out there and do it. And I just picked up, and I was trying to find that when I shut the camera off. There's a little attachment that goes between that claw where I can hook a second line to it. And I go down and just hook onto the trap. I release the claw. It holds the trap. I pull the ROV back, and then you hook it onto onto one of those drone recovery reels on a boat, and then it just pulls it up out of the mud.
I was kind of wondering if you could do that. Yeah. Because I just watched a quick video where that one that you got, he was lifting 10 kilograms. But the thing was, he clapped onto it, but he was pulling the cord, holding on to the drone, like the underwater drone, and was pulling it up with that.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, you're risking breaking the claw. I mean, if it's too heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they make a little, it's like $100. It just fits inside the claw and fits in the front of the claw. And then you just go up to whatever the item is, and it just goes up. And as it goes across, it clamps onto it. Then you release the claw and it stays on there, and it's hooked to a separate line. You back off out of the way, and then just
lift it
Wow,
up.
that's cool.
That's a good idea. That's
That's
cool.
That's exactly what I need.
Wish I could find it real quick.
Yeah,
Show it.
Curtis, you know that Marcel's got a
I've talked
drone
about
in
it.
the water, right?
No, you have a drone in the water?
Yeah, we talked about it last time. I think you were on the channel. My long range drone landed in Pitt Meadows area. It's Pitt River. It's not like
I've worked with a couple divers up here where we went and found some drones and stuff. And really, the best way to do it is get sonar on a boat and narrow it down. Because
we have GPS coordinates for it.
if you got that, you can pretty much dive down on and get it.
Yeah, it's not even like dive; it's less than 100 feet down.
Oh yeah, if you know exactly where it is, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, the hard part is getting there because there's the only way to get there is by boat, and the only boat that I can get right now is all locked up. They're all pretty much around here,
For winter.
put in storage and stuff. So I got a friend with a kayak, but pulling, but it's like pulling teeth right now. So.
Well, there's a guy that's in our ROV Facebook groups that he's got a little kayak and he runs around doing stuff. So
smart.
Yeah, he's having a blast and he's just pulling up junk people drop in the water,
Yeah. If you know anybody up here in Vancouver and BC, let me know. Because everybody I know is like either they're too busy or they just don't
The
want to do it.
closest that I know to you is in Edmonds, Canada.
Edmonton and
Edmonton.
up in Alberta.
Oh, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Canadian.
No worries.
Pretending to be Canadian. When I'm on the Canadian Drone Hub, I pretend to be Canadian.
There you go.
Hey. Gotta get the fire rescue or marine rescue. Tell them there's something down there really bad you need. Tell them they good practice for them.
Yeah, right.
Here's the coordinates, you know.
So
Tell 'em
I was going to do something for Halloween, but I didn't quite get time to pull it off. But I bought one of those plastic skulls that look really realistic,
Yeah.
and I've
Good
drilled
night,
a
Welch, Rob.
couple holes in the bottom and put
Too
some
hot.
bolts in it so I could sink it down. And I was going to go down and do a live stream on YouTube and just say, "Hey guys, help me identify a lot of the stuff down here because I don't know what it is." And I was going to have it about 10 yards off and just wait for somebody to say, "What the hell is that over there?"
Right.
And a great Halloween video.
Hey, Curtis, are any of the local search and rescue organizations buying the ROVs or no?
So it's more of a recovery. And I'm not, at that point, I mean, if it's a body, I mean, if we're talking about people's bodies or something like that, the only advantage the ROV would have over a diver would be the amount of time that you have in the water. So for instance, we have ferries and occasionally a car will go off the edge of the ferry in really rough weather if they don't have them correctly secured. So going down and identifying exactly where it is and what position it's in, that might be kind of a use for it. In talking with my diver friends, which strangely enough, when I started doing drones, all the pilots were kind of like, "Oh, you can't take over our job." They've kind of embraced the ROV thing. They like the idea of sending it down and assessing the situation so they don't have to spend a lot of time assessing what's going on. And one of the interesting things that I learned about from a car going off the ferry and there being bodies in there and people drowned is they will, once they extract the bodies out of there and they put them in bags underwater, they'll bring them up to 100 feet and they'll prep the body before they surface. They don't surface with just a body.
No, they bag them first.
They bag them at 100 feet and then bring them up, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, the only
one of
thing,
those
the only
ROVs
thing
that does bagging.
when I say search and rescue, what I was talking about was like you're talking about gun retrieval, because like our sheriff department has a dive and rescue, okay?
Mhm.
And if somebody throws a gun in the river or whatever, that they search for it, they could be out there for days looking for that gun.
I still said, even if somebody threw, and let's just say it was a quarterback that threw the gun, 50, 60 yards, it would still be a huge area to search with an ROV. I would still suggest taking a boat out there and, you'd have I guess you'd have a general idea. Well, maybe not. It depends on the circumstances. I would say a sonar on a boat and then retrieve it with the ROV would probably be the better way to do it. The ROV is
the depth maximum on that.
So they recommend no more than 300 feet. And because at that point it would implode. The water pressure would be too much for it. Although there is a guy that has been down to 400 feet and he's documented it. But
You gotta contact Washoe County, Nevada. I was on search and rescue there, and it's Pyramid Lake. A lot of mishaps, and matter of fact, my last month there, they brought in a guy from somewhere. That's all he does is travel the U.S. He has some kind of special sonar, but he's able to go the depth of that lake, and it's pretty close to around 300. But they have so many mishaps on that lake. There's some weird, strange ass currents in there, and but that nobody else could find these three guys that tipped a boat over, and but they brought that guy in.
So as far as why I say it's limited for search and rescue is, first of all, you're limited by the tether itself, 300 feet. If you go 300 feet down, you can only go 1 foot out.
Oh.
If you go 10 feet down, you're going 290 feet out. So
You can't put two tethers together in 600 feet and be able to
Then
go?
what happens then is you're starting to initiate drag.
Okay.
So if there's any kind of, and the tether is it's a similar to a carbon fiber, I'm sorry, not carbon fiber, Kevlar material, and it does float generally, but when you have a current in there or a tide or something like that, suddenly the ROV is fighting that tether.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hook up another tether. It's not recommended. And having done this for a while, I mean, I don't think I've ever had it out 300 feet. Most of the stuff I've done has been 100, 150, 175 feet
Right.
max.
It's pretty cool.
So if I understand you, you're not looking to get into search and rescue, you're just looking to get into recovery of items, so to speak.
Well,
Inspection.
search and rescue, like I said, is very difficult with this kind of setup. It can't cover enough ground fast enough, whereas a diver could. I mean, you're talking a human body. I mean, you really, a boat with a sonar could find that person, and then you could send the ROV down and assess the situation before you send a diver in, so that the diver has less time that he has to spend in the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was kind of wondering if they couldn't have some kind of hook. And I think I've seen something once before, like a big triple hook hooked onto another line, and the ROV went on there, hooked onto the clothes, then backed off, and then they pulled up the body with a rope, right?
Well, and like I was saying earlier, I don't know every diver, but I know a few of the divers since I've started doing this, and what they tell me is they won't bring the body up until they bag it.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
that's true,
respect
yeah.
thing. They will bag the body they'll stop wherever they grab the body from. They'll bring it up to the 100-foot mark, and there's usually 2 to 3 of them there. One guy will come down to them with the bag, and then he's generally the one, because they'll start doing their ascent from there, and he's generally the one that will put it in the bag. Once they get back on the boat, they're prepped and set up to help bring the body on board the boat.
Curtis,
Yeah.
does your controller tell you what depth the ROV is,
Yes.
where it is,
So-
what direction it is? And
On the screen.
Okay, so on the screen, I should do a screen recording of this. On the screen, there's a lot of information. There is a depth that tells you how far down you're going, and you can choose meters, or for you guys in Canada, you can choose meters or feet. There is a directional, when you set it up, there's a calibration mode where you calibrate it to the controller, so that when you're facing this way and the drone is facing this way, there's a little 3D icon in there. And when you tilt the drone forward, it tilts forward. When you rotate the drone, it rotates. So you can look at the screen and go, okay, I'm going this direction. But unlike regular drones, you don't really know where you are underwater. I mean, you can kind of guesstimate it. You can look at your line and go, okay, it's going that way. And I'm looking at the icon and it's going this direction, so I know I'm going that way. But you really don't know how far that you've gone that way.
it's not specific.
It's not very specific. And when when you've got 200 foot of line out and 100 foot of it's underwater, you think you're ahead and 50 feet over. It could be ahead and 100 feet over.
Yeah.
You don't know. Now there is some stuff that you can get, or there's some sonar that you can get that will lock into the ROV, and you can mount it on the side of a pier, side of a boat, side of a dam, and it will use that as similar to GPS, and it will send a ping to that, and it recognizes the ping and sends it back, and it'll tell it exactly where it is in 3D space.
Okay.
And
Now,
there's
do you have? Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have restrictions, kind of like drones, like certain waterways and stuff you're not allowed to be in, or?
So generally speaking, we operate like a diver does. We put out a buoy, says we're underwater. And of course, you can kind of see us. I mean, unlike a diver, you can kind of see where we are. So it's not really an issue. And when I go out on a boat, there's not another, except for the Coast Guard, they might come up and talk to you for a minute, and they're kind of interested in what's going on too. So I've had a few Coast Guard come up, and we've waved them to the other side of the boat and talked to them on the radio. They understood fully well that we have an ROV in the water, and they understood, so they just came around the other side. But I've never had anybody just come up to the boat going, "Hey, what are you doing?" Now I have had people come up when I'm off the docks and talk to me about it and stuff.
Right.
Absolutely nobody says I'm invading their privacy. Absolutely nobody's accusing me of filming their daughter. Although,
Mm.
actually, if you're in the Bahamas, you could put one in the water and film people underwater and they don't even know it.
Just come up and pinch it. Come up and pinch the
Yeah.
butt with the claw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do that. But no, there are at this point in time, there are no restrictions. You know, a dock owner can say you can't, similar to drones, say you can't be on my dock, and
Can't take, yeah.
you can't take off from here, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. That's not really an issue though, because you can just sit on the side of the land right there beside it and put it in the water, and he can't really say anything to you.
All right.
Did have that one meeting with the Coast Guard when the guy complained about me from the story I told you guys earlier.
Yeah.
And they thought it was kind of novel, but that rule has kind of been there for fishermen, because fishermen generally will pull up to a pier, you know, on a boat, and they'll pull up to where some docks are, and they'll toss their fishing line right up underneath the dock. And the real complaint about that is, you know, you're blocking other boats from getting back to the dock. And I wouldn't do that. There's really no reason for that. I mean,
Well, I think one of the most interesting things you've told us tonight is not only the
that I'm
utility
60.
of it,
Oh,
but the inspection thing where you can actually live stream to engineers that want to
Yes.
know what's going on under the water
Mhm.
while they could be around the world. You can live stream it from
so
your,
that's a marketing thing that I'm working on and getting in. So it's getting with a city and saying, hey, who's bidding on this bridge needs to be repaired, this shoreline, this dam, this needs, who is bidding on this thing? And I need to learn how to contact these folks and say, here's what I can do for you. And it's generally just a couple hours, you know,
yeah,
once we
and
establish it.
I thought it was novel that because it was live streamed, and that's a two-way live stream, like you said, it could be an engineer in Dubai that's
Exactly.
working on a project, and he can say, okay, well, turn the ROV to the left, pan up, go down.
That's
You know?
exactly what I had happen with that's exactly what I had happen. There's the bridge in Tacoma that they're wanting to do some repair work on. There was a boat that hit it, and they said, well, the damage is here, but and I said, well, you know, I can put an ROV in the water and we can do a live stream, and we set it up with a private server. They were able to watch it. I didn't have to put it on YouTube or anything, and we were just on connection by phone, and they were like, hey, can you go left? Oh, wait a minute, there's more damage here. Let's go down about another 5 feet, because they're watching this. And I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm able to listen to them tell me where they want me to put this thing. And I'm pretty good at getting it in there. It flies just like a drone does.
Right.
So, I mean, if you fly a drone, you can operate this thing. It's not that big of a deal. But I was able to get, as we were filming this, they saw more damage in the bottom of the screen. They said, hey, wait, go down, go down, go down, go down. So there was quite a bit more where they were able to take a look at. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, it's a huge advantage. And for that particular job, I was in the water for an hour and a half.
Wow.
Now, do they have any kind of like wireless setup for these things where you don't have to have a
So-
tether, where you could drop like some kind of thing in the water to connect to it?
So there's a lot of obstacles with a drone, and you're in the air, you can see it. You know,
Right.
there's a power line. Even if you're looking at your screen, you can look up. You never have that opportunity with an ROV. You're underwater, so it becomes very, very tunnel vision. You're very, very looking straight ahead. With the new drones, with the new ROVs that I have, you can do lateral movement. So before, is you had to turn to go this way, you had to turn to go this way. This one,
Right.
you can be facing this direction and be, for instance, up against a ship hull. And by the way, they have just come out with tools to measure ship hull thickness now that mount on this drone. You can pull up to it and literally just side scan the whole thing, but you don't know what's over here. So a lot of guys, what are happening, we call it tether management. It takes as much time to keep track of what's going on with your tether as it does to operate the underwater drone. So
Yeah, I would think so.
a lot of
Yeah.
guys will go underneath the pier and they'll get caught on barnacles, and they're like, oh no, and they're trying to drive it down. And I'm like, just use the claw, dude. Use the claw, go in there and pull it down with the claw, you know. But it doesn't take much to get caught in something.
It sounds to me, Curtis, like it's evolving fast. I would imagine they're going to have multi cameras on them, So if
they
you want to
already
look
do.
to the right, look to the left, or
They already do, and I've got you guys ever seen one of these 50/50s?
no.
No.
Mm-mm.
So let me see if I can hold it up here so you can see it. So it does above and below the water shots. So essentially what it is, you put a GoPro, this mounts directly onto the ROV. You put a GoPro inside this thing and you can film above and below the water at the same time. It's more of an artistic thing than it is for science, for marine sciences or aquaculture as we call it. But yeah, you can do some of that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
So
that's pretty cool.
So it's kind of like a periscope, sort of.
Except it's fixed. It doesn't go up
Right.
and down. It's just mounted to the wing. It mounts on the back of the. It mounts back here on this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And this is made. This is not aerodynamic. It's made as a handle to carry it.
Water, yep.
Well, and look at the dories too. I mean, they're not really that far out of a lot of people's price ranges. I mean, you're talking
It's
around a
good.
mini
Okay.
2 price, right?
The dory scares me. I only because you're not connected to it. I mean, there's a tether, but the transmitter is out in the water. And if you can't get to it, I mean, if you're in the Bahamas, it's no big deal, jump in the water, but our water's frigid up here.
Mhm.
You don't jump in this water unless you got a fire going.
Curtis, if you don't want to say it's okay, but I'm just curious what everything you got there, how much you got wrapped up and all that.
So well, I mean, there's stuff I haven't even shown you guys yet, and I'm going to say 20,000 easy,
Oh, Jesus. Woo.
but it's
I
hard
was
to
gonna say
pay for
more.
itself.
I mean, it's kind of like getting wrapped up in a Matrice or an Inspire too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I didn't plan on pardon the pun, I didn't plan on diving into this adventure. But when you get out there and you start playing around, it's like, holy mackerel. I'll give you another example. When I first got into this, we here in Olympia, where I live, if you look on a map on Washington State and where Puget Sound comes down at the last little inlet, or one of them, there's one more called Mud Bay, and it literally is mud. Well, the last little inlet's where I'm at, and I was down there. We call it the dead zone because it's just, there's nothing down there but dead stuff. Everything comes down the sound and it stops right there and it dies. But I was down there just kind of looking around, and this guy on a tugboat comes over, and I'm on the pier. It's a public pier. Comes over, he says, "What are you doing?" And we're talking and stuff. He goes, "Well, we had the tugboat races the other day." And I got to be careful what I say here specifically. We had the tugboat races the other day, and I'm supposed to go out and pick up all the buoys. And I said, "Cool." He goes, "You want to go out and go down and see how they're hooked up and everything?" And I was, "Yeah." So I jump on the tugboat. The next day I go down there and we go out and we film everything. And they've got a crew of guys on there. They're doing everything. And they told me what they're going to do so I won't be in their way, and how the whole thing works. And we did about 4 or 5 dives. And then we headed back to where the company is that owns all this stuff to return the buoys and stuff, because he's only hired to do this job. And he's telling the owner, "Hey, yeah, we filmed all this stuff." And the guy goes, What? So he says, apparently there's some proprietary trademark stuff that I filmed. So I showed him the footage. He goes, you cannot put that on YouTube. I will buy that footage from you. Literally. And I can't say the amount. I can't say the name of the company. It was a lot of money.
So that was hush money.
That was like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't do this again, please. And I was like, "Hey, no problem, man. I didn't realize I was stepping on any toes." He was upset at first, but when I said, I didn't realize I was stepping on toes, I got invited to go out on this thing. And
I mean, who the hell would think, buoy connection was proprietary? I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
Having seen it, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of unique and novel. I've never thought about that." So, and I have to be careful there. I got to stop right there.
Yep.
But
So-
yeah, no, it was a really cool thing.
So water temperature affect that thing much?
No, guys are cutting holes in the ice in the Arctic and dropping it
Yeah.
in the water. And there's a guy in Norway. You guys have heard about the snow crab. It's not snow crab. There's a different kind of crab.
Yeah.
They're just tearing everything up, and there's just miles and miles of crab. And he wanted to document the crab moving under the ice, so they cut like a foot square hole in the ice and dropped this under and filmed it. And it's like the whole ocean bed floor is moving.
Oh,
with these
wow.
articulating arms.
Now, will the crabs attack it?
No. And that's another beautiful thing for you fishermen out there. There is a guy in Japan that loves to fish with this thing because fish are not afraid of it. And if you want documentation, go look at a couple of my earlier videos. I literally drive right up to fish, and the school they'll come in, they'll come right up to you. And if you go forward a little bit, they'll scoot away, but they'll come right back. They're like trying to bully you out of their area. And I'm talking perch too.
Territorial, huh?
Very territorial. I've had catfish swimming, or not catfish, but what is it? Big carp. I've had carp swimming around it. Lake Union, which is in Seattle, is a freshwater lake, and then it goes through a series of locks out to Puget Sound. So it's fresh and saltwater, and you'll find fresh and saltwater fish mixing there. So it's pretty interesting. Anyway, if you check out some of my channel and check out some of the videos, you'll notice that fish do not run from this thing. They actually are attracted to it. You turn those lights on, they start coming up to you like, what the hell's going on?
I bet you if you bring it down to Florida, the gators ain't going to run from it either.
So there's a buddy of mine that almost got eaten by a gator. He literally, this is when we first started doing this. We had the Gladys Mini. There's a log laying down, and he's coming up over the log and can see this gator. And he comes just up over the log, and the gator turns and comes at him full mouth, and he backs off and drops down below the log, but has the footage still on. And that gator comes up and snaps and then stops.
So your friend was in the water.
No, he was in a boat.
He was in a boat. Okay.
Yeah, he works for Bass Pro Shops, and he was out there filming a lot of their I forget what year it was. It's a couple years ago, but anyway, filming their new bass boats, and he does a lot of the aerial shots. They'll come speeding by, and he'll do the aerial shots of the bass boats and stuff, and put them in their catalogs. Well, while he was there, he said, "Hey, I've got this. Let's get some footage from underwater as well." And they started adding some underwater footage just to make it interesting. And that's when they saw, "Hey, there's an alligator over there. Can you go see it?" So he went over to it and got right up on the thing. I've got in one video. I should just share it with you guys, but I can't play the music because it's copyrighted. I got in a fight with a crab. You know, I'm gonna grab it. Hang on one second. Give me a second to go find this real quick, and I will share it.
Well, that'd put a new twist on somebody saying, "Yeah, I got the crabs."
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? Dan. Dan from Florida. I forget what's his channel now. I fix shit or whatever. But he had that little RC boat last year down there in Florida, and that gator come up and snapped at it.
Captain Nemo.
So this is during the summer. I love all the, you kind of missed it, but all the little bubbles and stuff. But I'll get to.
So that's your claw on the front there, right?
Yeah, that's the claw on the front. Let me.
How deep are you, Curtis, right there, roughly?
10, 15 feet.
Oh, okay.
Nothing bad at all.
Well, it doesn't look deep to me neither because you can see a lot of sunlight still.
Yeah.
Looks pretty clear. See, the waters down here in Florida are so murky, I think it'd be hard to see.
Yeah, say you're in a good area up there where you got clear water, Curtis.
Oh,
Nice
look
little
at that.
jellyfish.
You have.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a bad connection going on. Let me lower this. So here's a pair of
There's
crabs mating.
Crab porn.
Yeah.
You literally are cock blocking the crab.
I know. He didn't seem to mind though. He's like, I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is this bottle that I find right here. Now, you notice there's nothing around this bottle. And I've seen tons of bottles, but this one was kind of interesting. I've never seen a bottle like this. Now, you see, there's nothing around anywhere, right?
That's so cool.
So now
Okay,
I
okay,
thought,
that's
well, I'm gonna pick this bottle up because it's interesting and different. I can do a better job than I'm doing here now because I know how to do it a little bit better. I grabbed it kind of wrong, but this is great for like a B movie, an old B horror movie. Watch what happens.
Oh, boy.
It's my bottle.
Watch the sides.
There it is.
That's my bottle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool.
He
Huh.
wanted that
Wow.
bottle.
That is awesome.
Got a bottle and a dinner.
Were you, did the crab come up with the bottle or no?
No, he saw me pulling the bottle. My guess is there's something in there that he wanted and was probably sitting underneath some seaweed or something. Let me.
Well, what I was wondering, it was open on the end. You don't suppose there were young crab seedlings in there or something? Or
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
Let me reduce that a little bit there, and that should play a little bit better. I'm thinking there was something in there as like some kind of food that he wanted. So I'm basically on the surface now, just kind of playing with him. And he eventually falls off, and then I drop the bottle thinking I'm just going to go down and find him, but then I couldn't find the bottle.
Oh crap!
But I
After all
found him,
that,
and then I get in a fight with him.
wow. So how deep was that bottle down? 10, 15 feet?
Oh, probably about 20 feet of water. It wasn't bad.
So when at what depth do you start having to use the lights more?
It depends on the sun. So whereas drone pilots, we like to fly in sunset and sunrise, and you get that nice orange glow, for underwater ROVs, you really want overhead sun, because it acts as a diffuser on the water and just lights that water up.
Oh yeah, you can tell that's nice clear water if you're that far down. Because like I said, if you go in the water,
seawater though, right?
Yes, this is seawater. This is down at Commencement Bay in the Port of Tacoma where I filmed this. One of the bad things about using the lights is that's where I let it go, and I thought I'd try to go down and see what the crab does if he tries to get in it, but I couldn't find the bottle, but I did find the crab. Yeah, there he is right down there.
Oh, there he is right down there.
And then I go down there and pick a fight with him. So if you've ever driven in the snow, like heavy snow, and you're doing 60 miles an hour, the snow comes down and then it shoots into your eyes. Well, all that particulate, when you turn on the lights of the ROV, you get the same effect.
oh, that's a big crab right there.
He
Claw
looks good
versus
dog.
claw.
He ain't backing down.
No, he's not.
Claw versus claw.
Well, honestly, to him, it probably does look like a massive crab.
Yeah. Looks like you're dancing with him.
It would be interesting if you put some appliques or stickers on that to make it look like the same coloration as that crab.
With little eyeballs and stuff.
Yeah.
It does look like you're dancing. I'd play a little music for him down there.
Yeah. Just cut that and leave
So
it
that's
back
the
and
other
forth.
bad thing, is when you get to the bottom, you start kicking up all the silt, and then it becomes impossible to see.
Totally. That's how he defends himself.
So, Curtis, if I heard you correctly a little bit earlier, you accidentally ran into the wrong person at the right time, who ended up being the right person that could potentially spread your word and get you some business.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about the tugboat thing?
Yeah.
No, that was kind of a one-time deal.
Oh.
He doesn't. So the how do I say that? I can't say.
But the journey through this whole thing is you have gained a lot of knowledge and made a lot of contacts, right?
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Yeah, that's the point I was, yeah.
Awesome.
Or you guys want to see something from Florida? Watch this. This was about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
seeing that. I remember seeing that.
Thing's the size of a damn Prius.
That
Wow.
would definitely
Jesus. Size of a Prius.
I'm serious. Like if you run up on that thing with a freaking small car, it'd take the whole front end off.
Yeah.
There was that one story, that one down there in Florida, Justin, it was, what, how was he, like 17-footer? He was huge.
Oh, there was the one too down here in Florida where the police helicopter was filming it from above. It was probably about 400 or 500 feet in the air, the helicopter, and it's filming straight down in the lake, and it's like a 15-foot croc with a full deer in its mouth swimming through the water.
Wow.
So I did do one interesting video, and I wrote the music for this. But Paul, if you tell me not to play it, I won't play it.
I'm game.
But I had some friends go out with me. We put both ROVs in the water underneath the Aurora Bridge in Seattle, and then we had a couple of drones in the air as well. And interestingly enough, we're able to pop up out of the water just enough to see a drone. But to see a drone from just 2 feet underwater through the water is pretty cool. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll share this with you guys, and let's see what it looks like.
Hey, Lenny, team dancer.
Team Dancer said, "Holy shit, that's huge."
Yeah, I've already started doing my logo stuff.
Awesome. Drone squad.
Can you guys hear that?
No.
No. That's okay. You don't have to have the music.
Did you see my new logo, Marcel? I got
don't
it
think
off
so.
of one. No, I got it off of one of those websites that says you can create a free logo, but then they charge you at the end. I just screenshotted it after I was done designing it.
Yep.
Just pulled it right off the website.
Right. You just don't get as good quality for other things when you try to blow it up and stuff. I'll have to look at it.
That's a nice
That's
ship.
Lake Union right there that you're seeing, and it feeds off into the ocean. But this is fresh water here. This is where you're looking at the drone from underwater.
Oh, yeah.
I like the bubbles.
Was that an Air 2?
Yeah, we had an Air 2 and a Mavic 2 Pro out there.
Awesome.
So is that that whole clear spot in front of the underwater drone, is that all camera, or is that just a like a window and the camera's behind it?
Sorry, say that one more time, Paul.
Okay, in front of your underwater drone, there's looks like the camera, but is that just is that the whole camera, the lens?
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
it. That's it. Yep. So there's a protective lens in front of it. It's to keep from scratching the camera lens, and you can replace that.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if that was just like a window and the camera was behind it or what.
Yeah,
you know?
essentially that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we're underneath this bridge. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you can mix two different hobbies like that.
Mhm.
Well, as far as I know, there's a couple guys that are going to start trying to do it because they've seen this particular video. But you know, putting aerial drones with underwater drones, it's kind of a surrealistic because we're just offshore. We're in like 10 to 15 feet of water, and as soon as you come above the water, you see all the houses and stuff that are right here. Like, look at this. This is right where we are.
Hmm.
We're just in the water,
Mhm.
but it's like a totally different world.
Yeah, so you can get a real cool perspective from the sky and underwater at the same time. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's the Five Fish Expert. That's the $12,000 drone.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Oh,
One
only
of the interesting
12,000.
things. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say only 12,000. I'm ordering 2 tomorrow.
Well, this
Yeah.
this one right here is 8. You know, you're 18 with the claw.
There. Now,
So
is
how
it,
much?
Interesting thing to watch. Watch the motors. They're not always on.
How much is the claw just by itself?
I bought it as part of a package deal, so I'd have to go look it up. It's like $700.
Is I think the one for the Dory, I want to think it was around what, like 400 or 300? If you wanted to buy it separate. I remember Jim from Above and Beyond Drones, he's got a Dory, and he was talking about the claw.
Yeah, I kind of got Jim involved in this stuff.
Oh, that thing just sits on the shelf now. That's why I told him. I said, "You need to go get the claw for it." He was like, "Nah, it's like an extra $300-400." I was like, "Yeah, but you can go down and pick stuff up and find all kinds of cool little treasures."
Anyway, that's that.
Wow, that is cool.
It's awesome.
Is there anything like that have like a metal detector attachment? That'd be badass.
There are some. There's so much stuff coming out with the Five Fish Expert, the $12,000 one. The stuff that I've mentioned earlier, the water sampler is kind of interesting. I've talked to some. I have a friend from high school that works for the EPA now in Oklahoma. He works out at. He's in charge of runoff water from Fort Sill. And I talked to him about how they do particulates, how much particulate is in water at certain levels. And he said, well, we drop a cup down in the water at 300 feet and bring it up. And I go, well, this new one, you can do 3 different water samples at 3 different levels on the same dive with this new attachment they have coming out. So particulate counts, stuff like that for EPA, you can do stuff like that. I'm not sure I want to get in that, although he makes a lot of money as in working for the EPA, but.
Now, does anything ever get caught in the propellers, like seaweed, anything like that?
Yes, it does, and they have prop guards for them, and I've ordered a set, and I've got them in now. But that, the idea is you really don't want to get on the bottom, because when you get on the bottom, you start. What's this message? Set up professional audio and audio settings. There's a message just popped up on my screen. That was weird. You don't really want to be in the bottom. You want to be above the bottom, looking down at it.
Well, you kick up too much segment, like you were saying. Just everything gets foggy.
Yeah, I would think that would be a cool thing to have with all these great big ships going by, but there's so much underwater turbulence that I don't know.
Not only that, because the Kevlar cable it tends to float. There's a lot of people that, for instance, when I go out, I tell the guys that are taking me out on the boat that you've got to be able to dual anchor, because a lot of guys will anchor and they'll make adjustments with their propeller. And then next thing you know, you've got that cable wrapped around the propeller and you're trying to get it undone. And that's a big pain in the butt. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting it out there. I mean, unless you're way far away, but then you're going to want super clear visibility on a good day, 4 or 5 yards is what I get.
Okay. Because I know that the divers here, when they get underneath the bridge on a clear day, they can see the shadow of the ship going by, and they hear the screws going
but you got like a 10 knot.
It's 7 to 10 knots downstream.
Yeah.
It might work. I mean, you'd want really good sunlight, because it's like I said earlier, the sunlight acts like a diffuser panel when it hits that water, and it just lights everything up underneath the water. It's amazing when a cloud comes over and suddenly it just goes dark. It's really bizarre.
Now, when you do boat inspections, hull inspections and stuff.
So I haven't done any boat and hull inspections yet.
Oh, okay.
It's a possibility. So I did talk to, there's a guy that I deliver a lot of welding gases and medical gases and stuff like that. And there's a boat builder that buys from us. And I mentioned to him, and he said, you keep that damn thing away from me. And I was like, why are you getting pissed at me? And then I realized he charges $1,000 to pull a boat out of the water. He doesn't want that thing in the water, and he doesn't want any discounts. He doesn't want anybody to know anything about it. He wants his pull out charge. And I get it. I'm not opposed to doing boat inspections. If I did it, I would want to do it on big ocean cruisers, and I would be more interested in selling them one. I'm kind of the belief that almost every boat owner should have one of these. I've seen guys get their anchor tangled up, between two rocks and not know which way to go to pull it out. And if they sent this down and realize, oh, instead of backing up and I pull forward, it'll pull it out between these two rocks or whatever. There's a guy on YouTube on the ROV pages that just did that. He had his anchor locked up and couldn't pull it up and was going to have to cut it. And he sent the ROV down, saw where it was. It was lodged between two rocks and he couldn't lift those two rocks out of the way. But if he drove the boat forward, it essentially flipped the anchor over and pulled it out the other side. And then he was able to pull the anchor up.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
The team Denzer, he has the idea for like you're always on top of those ships going up the river. You're filming from up top. Get one of those toys and you can film them from underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's mentioned that. It would be kind of cool underwater and just have it look up and.
Hey, Ron, somebody a lot younger than me.
So Lynn said, do I prefer salt or fresh water? There's really no preference. I'm surrounded by salt water.
I don't know. I think saltwater, as far as like the underwater view of the different colors and fish, I think it's better. It's cooler looking than the freshwater. Because the sea life, to me, there's just seems more variety.
Harder on the components. I mean, eventually.
So on the ROVs, we have a cleaning maintenance program, and it's actually in the software. So when you come back, you want to dump it in fresh water, and then you run this maintenance program, and it literally cleans everything out.
Really?
Now, I had problems with the Gladius Mini because it didn't have this particular setting. If you put it in the water and turn the motors on, it rams up against the side of whatever, if a tub or bathtub or whatever you put it in, and you're damaging you're scratching up the lens and stuff. But with this one, the motors alternate to keep it centered wherever it is. And they just keep alternating for about 10 minutes and clean everything out. And then you pull it out, put it in more fresh water, do it again. The cool thing is while you're doing that, you download all your footage while it's doing it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So if there's some downsides to this, I would say if you're interested in doing like YouTube videos and stuff like that, the V6S, the yellow one, the SD card is located inside the ROV and you can't remove it. So you have to hook up your tablet to the RC and transfer the footage, which depending on, if you're doing 4K footage, it could take you 10 minutes to an hour. I generally go down and it also, it films in 3-minute increments. So you're filming, you're running film, or running video, and then you don't stop. But at the 3-minute mark, it cuts it, and then it cuts it at that frame and starts another video at the next frame. So you get 2 videos, you bump them up together in Premiere Pro or whatever your video editing is, and you don't lose any frames or anything. Mm-hmm. So generally speaking, I just turn mine on and let it film.
Now, can you screen record on your Triple Tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't had a need to do that other than for some tutorials I've done. But yeah, I'm set up to do screen recording on the Triple Tech.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, like you said, you can't get to the SD card. You got to do it through the drone. But if you screen recorded with your Triple Tech, you just pull the card out and stick it in your computer.
Well, you're kind of stuck with so there's some choices and I need to finish my first thought too. There's some choices that you have in the app. Like if you don't want to record the depth and the Five Fish logo and all the water temperature and all that other stuff on the actual video, and you just want like a cinematic kind of video where you're just filming underwater, you can turn all that off, but you couldn't do that if you were screen recording because you're going to see it on the app.
So it's kind of like on a drone. You're going to get all the data information. Battery.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're
I
screen
feel-
recording,
I feel like this is a common question because I asked it and so did 2 other people about the wireless thing. It's kind of when somebody asks you, how high does your drone fly? You'll hear that 1,000 times. About it
That's
being
the
like
big problem
wireless.
with FPV drones. Our analog signal through even just like thick trees that are like got water in them and stuff like that, the signal just does not transmit.
You can't.
So I'm guessing it's the same thing with those.
yeah, it's the same thing. Radio waves don't transfer in the water.
It's one thing having a tree in the way, but the whole ocean or
That's
water.
that's why naval submarines have to surface to transmit. They do have a way now of low frequency or whatever. Yeah, but if they want incoming messages or whatever, they want to send an immediate message, they surface, put the thing up in the air and transmit and then go
Yep.
back down again.
I haven't really found, there's a lot of people saying, and it's the drone guys, and I haven't quite understood this yet. And everybody says, well, you're tethered. And I'm like, well, I don't see that as a bad thing, because the worst case scenario, I can pull my ROV up and it's not a problem. And it's not like you want to get that far away, because once you get, 10, 20 yards away, suddenly the orientation and your knowledge of where you are exactly underwater. A lot of times what I'll do is I'm 20 yards, 30 yards away and I'm turning left. I'll surface before I go any further, because I'm here, but I'm actually way over here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
and again, the amount of visibility that you have in the water is kind of tough. What I was going to tell you earlier, though, was on the Expert about the SD card. They now have a removable SD card, and I'm not real keen on that, because that's another access for water to get in.
Yeah.
It's sealed with an O-ring, and we have a series of things we do. We swap out O-rings and all that fun stuff. But if you lax one time, you're risking getting some internal damage. And I'm not real excited about that, but everybody else in the community is like, oh, cool, we just pull the SD card out now and stick it in the computer and start editing. But I'm like, I didn't really have a problem with it before, because while I'm cleaning my drone, it's downloading the footage at the same time. So I didn't really see it as an issue. Whereas with this one, because of the amount of money that it costs, I'm thinking, hang on, guys, I'm not so sure this is a great idea. Not opposed to it. And I haven't had a problem yet, but that's there.
So if
There
you would have
any
just
kind
had
of-
oh,
yeah.
go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Was there any kind of, refresh program? Or,
Not that I know of.
We'll see if Marcel would have had a 2,000-foot tether on his drone. He would have got it back.
Yeah.
Can you
I really
imagine?
want to come up there and recover that with you.
That'd be awesome.
So
Awesome.
you're in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're not that far from me, about 3 hours away.
But,
You guys
yeah,
get a lot
it's
of rain up
crazy.
there?
Oh yeah, we got just as much as you guys got, if not
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, it was pretty bad here for a while, and we've got floods like crazy, just like you guys. The North Shore, parts of West Vancouver got flooded. It's just crazy. The storm
Wow.
and the amount of flooding from all the snow melting and stuff, right? Because nothing's sticking. It's the snow sits and then it's gone again.
The head marketing guy for QYC, the guy that I talk to a lot, is from Vancouver. He's in China now, but he was born in Vancouver and moved back to China. He's in China, but he calls me a lot of times and, how's the weather? What's going on? Because it's like crazy weather there, man. I'm watching the news and you guys are like record rainfall and snow and everything else. And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's why they call it the West Coast, not
Yep.
the West Coast.
This might be a stupid question, but does that thing overheat if it's not in the water and you have it turned on? Does the water cool it, or the components inside?
So they recommend you don't turn the lights on.
Okay.
Because they're 2,000, each one is a 2,000 lumen light on the yellow one. They're 4,000 on the gray one, the Expert. They recommend you don't turn the lights on. And I think it's more just because they don't want to blind yourself. But
Be
yeah,
like-
as far as
It'd be like looking at a strobe, right?
or a police spotlight,
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I was like, boom, oh.
So it's just on and off. There's no like settings on the lights. Or
No,
nothing
there
like
are
that.
there are settings on there. You have
Oh,
three
okay.
different light settings. So you have off, and then a half power, then a full power.
Nice.
And it's right on the RC. Just click. It's right up on the front. Just a 3 little switch button. You can flip it up and down.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than the motors running, so the motors, when you first get it and you play with it, you're kind of amazed that the motors aren't just on like a drone. But it's more about buoyancy, and it's just kind of, and that's why you can stay underwater for so much longer on a similar battery. Something that a battery that Marcel would use, I could stay under for 2 hours, 2-3 hours, same size. But it's because the motors are just making slight adjustments to keep it level, keep it where you want it to be. It does has depth leveling. What they call, it needs a better name than depth leveling, because that's not true. I can come down to this depth and stop and say, and hit the depth level switch, and it'll stay there. And currents will try to push it around just like a DJI drone, but it'll stay there. But I can also tilt forward and it'll stay there. So whatever the last command I give it is the depth level that it stays at. So it's not really, I don't think it's the correct term. I can go up and down and it will stay at the new level. I kind of leave it on all the time.
It's kind of like the drones. It just sits there and readjusts itself, does
Yeah.
micro adjustments to stay in one spot.
And the propellers, you know, I've watched in the videos because I've had both ROVs in the water at the same time, and I watched the propellers on them, and they're not always spinning. It'll be like there'll be a little bit of a current here, and this one will spin up, this one will spin up, then these two will spin. And you know, when you're going forward or back, or you're actually moving through the water, yeah, they're all always on. They're
So
moving.
it will maintain that depth, but it doesn't have any sensors to like maintain according to the bottom where it is and stay in that.
There, so out of the box, no, but there are sensors that you can get that you can put on it that will tell it where the bottom is, so that when you're coming down and saying, I don't want to be any closer than 4 feet off the bottom, it'll ping the bottom and say stop, and you can go past it, you know, but it will let you know that it comes down.
But it doesn't take a look at the bottom like a sensor does on their drones. And
not out of the box, no.
Not out of the box. Okay.
Not out of the box. It's an attachment that you put on. They get you with all the attachments.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they're
The accessories.
making money like crazy. But
Now, is this U.S. manufactured or overseas or
so this is made in China.
China? Okay.
Made in China.
Dan,
Everybody's grinning.
Oh, I was laughing at the chat.
Yeah, me
Team
too.
Danza.
Yeah.
He was talking about the scan, those bots that keep popping in the chat. He's like, what the hell is that?
Well, Lynn says, okay, so Curtis, which do you prefer, ROV or drone?
So I love them both. I mean, I've got RC cars too. My wife bought me this. I'm having a blast playing with this thing.
Interesting.
It's
Use your hand.
There's some kind of sensor in here, and you put your hand under it and it keeps it up. It's a kid's toy. But my wife bought me this for Christmas. I was like, oh, that's fun.
JD's our resident RC car guy. Expert on that stuff.
Yeah, I had the Traxxas X Max and I sold that. Buying new batteries for that thing is insane. But I've got a Traxxas Slash that I run every once in a while, just the 2-wheel drive. Take it out and play with it. And I've got a God, what is it? I got it from Banggood and broke an axle on it, and I'm still trying to find a replacement part for it. But yeah, no, I play with all kinds of stuff. I like the idea of making videos with drones and ROVs. That's I enjoy that. Mainly because nobody else is really doing it.
Right.
You know, if you want to be seen, you got to do something different than everybody else.
Yeah, that's it. You got the best of both worlds going, Curtis.
I'm eventually going to bite that FPV bug.
You should.
I'm looking at what is that cinematic whoop, and then I'm also looking at like a 7-inch quad. And I don't like, so I'm not a fan of the flips. Paul remembers this from a while back. You know, the FPV, and I don't mean this derogatory, but it just seems like, you know, you take off, you flip. You go down the runway, you do a flip. You go up through a tree, you do a flip, flip, flip. You go up the building, you're coming halfway down the building. You don't even finish going all the way to the bottom. You do a flip, 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 flip. And then you come down and you go underneath the bridge. You do a flip under the bridge. You're flipping and you do another flip on top of that flip. And then you flip again. And then if you haven't flipped enough, you flip one more time and then go back around to the corner. And then you do another flip, 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 flip. And then you land.
It's aero. What do you call it? What do they call that? Aerobatics.
Aerobatics. Yeah.
Aerobatics.
Yeah.
And Curtis, you do it all in a minute and a half too.
Yeah.
Right. It takes an immense amount of talent. And I totally appreciate what guys that like doing that. I totally appreciate the skill that it takes to do that. But for me, I like the idea of Novice Quads is doing it, where he was flying low over the water, just doing like 70 miles an hour, like just a few inches off the water. I totally like that. The idea of diving down a building, going all the way to the bottom, and then pulling out at the last second and shooting underneath a bridge, or following a river trail, you know, or something like that. I like those ideas.
Yeah.
And eventually, I'll probably will get some sort of FPV drone and
I think the DJI FPV would be good for you if that's all you want to do is stuff like that. all the fail safes in it and everything.
I'm not excited about the camera, to be honest with you. I like the GoPro footage better.
Mhm.
And speaking of which, I just got the new GoPro Hero 10 too. So
Nice. There you go.
Well, I mean, you can always build one too, Marcel. Like you said, you can build one like the DJI FPV, where you can just have it hover like a GPS drone and do stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want it to hover. I want it to go 60 miles an hour, 2 feet off the ground.
Well, I'm saying you can build one though to where
Yeah.
you don't have to do all the flipping and you don't have to keep on the sticks the whole
That's-
time.
That's what Marcel was doing when he lost that drone in the water.
That's probably better off doing all the flips and jumps and rolls and crap.
Was that what you were doing? Literally just off the
Yeah,
top?
it was my long range drone, so I was just going to the mountain and back. And it was too cold, and the battery was smaller than I thought was on there. And see you later.
He went to the mountain, but he didn't come back.
Yeah. Mohammed has it now.
Nah, the mud has it.
So is it in salt water?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. It's Pitt Meadows River, so it's part of the Pitt Lake, and it runs down to the ocean.
You could share the last portion of your video and show him where it went down.
Oh no way, man!
He gets these PTSD flashbacks every time he watches that.
There you go. Bye bye long range.
So took it off from here is kind of where you can like launch the boat over on the right hand side of the screen. And this is where I'm headed.
You're doing analog, right?
Yeah, this is definitely analog. So it's landed basically right here on the right hand side where the numbers are flashing. But
Well, that shouldn't be too hard.
Because he went up the mountain.
But you also said it wasn't a fast moving river right in that area, right?
no, that part is like the flooded area of the river, so it's not even part of the main river.
Yeah, this is something I would like doing right here, diving down that hill.
So much fun, man. And like the GoPro footage would have been amazing to actually see. And that's where it started to screw me.
Oh no. Battery flashing.
So all this area, this is like all like just like part of the river that's flooded over this land right here in the front. So this is all like very slow moving water.
He's trying to make it across there.
Yeah, the GPS rescue on the thing is trying to.
I think we could find that.
Oh, I know you could. It'd be super easy. But the problem is nobody wants to go on the boat to get there. And I've got friends with boats. It's been crazy weather here.
Well, if we ever get this COVID thing worked out where I can come to Canada,
I don't doubt it.
I'll bring both RVs and give you some ROV lessons. You give me some FPV lessons.
I'm gonna have to buy one this summer. Like for all the amount of work you can get into and stuff, like that's just why not? It's so smart. I'm on the coast. It just makes sense.
Yeah, you could have a franchisee over there with Marcel.
Well, you guys just trade each other's expertise. He finds your drone, he gets all
Yeah,
the
there you
pieces,
go.
and you build the drone for him. A good trade.
Yeah.
But
Marcel?
yeah, no, as far as the 6 Mile Club, that was pretty good, Mike. As far as making money with ROVs, it's so easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's still new.
I was just kind of so here's the thing is with drones, the barrier of entry has come down really fast. And guys are, undercutting each other, and companies are setting up stuff and undercutting. It's a race to the bottom. Whereas the barrier for entry into an ROV is pretty steep.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's
But
not quite flooded yet. With the market's not quite flooded yet.
Yeah, well, and there's I was saying it earlier. I don't understand this thing about tether. Why FPV guys are not FPV, but drone guys in general are just against the idea of a tether. But everybody I talk to is like, oh, I wouldn't have it because it has a tether, So I don't think a lot of people are going to be getting involved in it.
Well, the thing too is I don't think
leaves
it's
more-
just as popular. Doesn't I think with versus like FPV and all that.
Yeah, everybody wants to be Superman. They don't- although Aquaman was pretty popular at the theater.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, there's a guy in Japan that he literally has a little, I want to say a coat hanger taped to the top, and he uses it like a fishing line. It's about about 5 feet in front of him with a lure on it and his live bait. And he just puts it in the water and goes out and finds fish and films the fish that he catches.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. You can check him out. I could go find the link real quick, but
Yeah.
And he tries out different kind of baits, and he'll say, "Oh, it's all in Japanese, so you got to kind of get it translated." But you can use, there's some translation tools in YouTube, but he was saying, "Oh, they're not biting this kind of bait this month. They're biting this other kind of bait," and other fishermen are listening to him. Traditional fishermen.
Team Danzer, take care. I think he's leaving.
Well, and I could see
Yeah.
why it wouldn't catch on as much as drones too, for the simple fact is there's a lot of people that probably don't live around bodies of water, so they wouldn't think to buy one of those. Where a drone,
again,
you can pretty much
For people that
anywhere.
are just tuning in, you'd be surprised how much water's around you. Wastewater
Mhm.
treatment plants use these things, water towers. I'm not real excited about going up a water tower, but there is a vacuum setup that you can hook up to this thing. And it completely takes away the risk of putting a man in a scuba setup inside an enclosed area. So you can put this ROV in there, go down to the bottom and vacuum up all the sediment and do it in about an hour. Whereas, a guy you're in that particular case, you're taking a job from another guy, but competition is what competition is. And we're all about commercialism, but, or at least in the United States, we are.
Well, I would think even like fish farms and stuff would be a potential customer for checking out their ponds or whatever, right?
That's why I got that other clause. I want to start talking to some of the fish farms that are around here. And, I didn't know that it was an issue until I started talking to the guys at QYC, and they were saying, this is a big deal because it doesn't take much for a diseased fish to brush up against another fish that's healthy and give it the disease. So if you can, and they showed me some footage of diseased fish swimming with regular fish. They can't swim. They're very sickly. If you can go in there and just retrieve them and pull them out, you create a better, healthier environment for those fish. So most fish farms, for folks that don't know, they're long nets to go from the top that are floating at the top that go all the way to the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And they put the fish in there. They keep everything else out. When fish die, they fall down at the bottom. They start decaying. There's crabs and stuff can't come and get to them and clean them up. Crabs are basically the cleaners of the ocean, So yeah, it becomes a very, very nasty place. You want to get that thing clean. So yeah, I'd love to get with a fish farm and just go out there once a month and clean their net pens out.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to have a special license? And two, if not, do you think the government's going to require that at some point if it becomes a more popularized job?
So I don't think it's going to become more popular.
Okay.
Everywhere I go, it's like people are like, "Oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool," and they price and they go, "Oh," and they start backing away. But for guys who've been doing drones for 10 years like me, you've already spent that much money in drones over 10 years, so it's kind of a balancing. But no, I don't think it's going to become a popular thing. A lot of guys will get frustrated with it because there's more maintenance involved in it. Maybe not the FPV guys, because you guys will crash and you go back and you got to fix your stuff. The DJI guys, we come back, we take our batteries out, put our stuff away, and we're playing with the SD card for the next 2 days and editing video. We don't even care about we don't look at the drone again until we're ready to go fly. We make sure the props are nice and clean and everything's working again. That's it. With this, I'm spending another 2 hours with it after I get it out of the water, and I'm cleaning it. I'm downloading footage. I'm making sure everything works. I've got some tools that I've acquired that are specialty tools that I want to clean things out with. I've got a bunch of Craftsman little pick lock stuff where you use like picking locks, where you can get down and get seaweed out of the props and stuff. It's very easy to get stuff in there. I've pulled fishing line out of there. I've run across fishing line that was just floating in the water and got it caught in a prop once.
Oh, yeah, true, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't damage the motors, but your motor stops turning. So
Right.
suddenly you start just doing circles. It's like, okay, that's another reason why you want it tethered. You know, at that time that I got fishing line caught in it, I was like, it just started doing circles because that one prop wasn't working. So I pulled it out, and sure enough, here's this old fishing line that was just floating in the water. And then I used this little pick that I had, just kind of get down there and work it out until I can get my fingers around it. Got a pair of tweezers and pulled it out, and it's good to go. Put it back in the water and kept going.
Yeah, we're fortunate there's not much stuff in the air you can get caught up in.
So Lynn says, do tethers come in different lengths? Yes, Lynn, they do. Not for the reasons that you think. 300 feet is really as far as you really want to go. They make another drone that's $20,000 that's for going down 1,000 feet, but this one is an open drone or open ROV, so there's no water to get into it. Does that make any sense? So this has a cavity inside of it, and eventually the water pressure will collapse that cavity, but the larger one has no cavity in it. It's fully open. And it'll take a lot more water pressure to collapse that. So the reason for different lengths is like when you come back and you want to charge it, the way you charge it is hook it up to your tether and then plug it into the battery or to the wall socket. They make a little 6-foot tether that you can hook that up and do that with. You can hook 2 tethers. There's an adapter if you want to, and it's not really for going deeper, it's for going longer.
Oh,
But I would not personally do that. This is my 3rd year of experience with it. Like I've said before, you get out 20 yards with 100 feet of tether and you make a left turn, you think you're here, but if you surface, you're another 40 feet away. So you don't really know where you are.
now that's interesting. Do you pop it up every once in a while just to see where
Yes.
it is, or?
Yes. Every once in a while when I've been out for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, or I'm moving across the water to, I've been in a spot for a while and I want to go somewhere else and I see something, 3-4 yards off and I want to go look at it, or I go over here and I see something else. I stop and I'll just pop up, see where I am, and go straight back down.
Too bad they couldn't even have some kind of GPS on it. When you do surface, it would do a location, then you could go straight down from there or whatever, right?
So they make it's based on sonar. They make a unit that you can put on the side of your boat or the side of a dock or a dam or whatever. It's pretty portable. It's not very big, and it sends out a specific signal to the ROV, and the ROV accepts that signal and sends another signal back, and then all that is hooked up to a ground station. So you do actually know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
10 grand.
You're 3 years into this.
10 grand for that right there. 10 grand for that.
Ron had a question.
I'm sorry, Ron, go ahead.
You said you're 3 years into this already?
I'm just now starting my 3rd year into this. Yes.
Wow.
Well, the question I had is I found it interesting, because
Hold on,
you know
Paul.
how fish will come pop their nose up and then go back down and do their thing. And that's why I was asking about if you weren't sure where it was. Why couldn't you put a little red stick on the back of it where the handle is? And so you just come up to the surface and a little stick would be up there, and okay.
Well, you could probably see the drone itself being yellow.
Yeah, I never the yellow one. So that's another bone of contention that I have with this company is the yellow one is great. You don't have to surface. You can see it about 20 feet of water, 20 feet down.
Okay.
If you're on a pier or you're on a boat above it, you go, okay, there it is. I see it. It's not where I thought it was, but there it is. I got it. So I'm good for another 10, 15 yards out, whatever. The other one's gray and it does not show up at all. You almost have to surface that one or have the lights on pointing, have it tilted up and have the lights coming up, and then you can see it.
Or almost tie a line to it and put like a bobber,
Then you're certain you'd be
up.
so buoyancy is like really, really important here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I mean, even this has buoyancy mounted on it,
Mhm.
so that we become neutrally buoyant, and that's really
See you, Justin.
All right, guys. I'll
Later,
see you
Justin.
guys later.
Okay,
Yep.
Justin.
Yep. See, Justin.
Now we can talk about the good stuff. No,
Yeah.
That was a pretty interesting
so Mike says-
presentation there.
What's the biggest fish you've seen, Curtis?
probably a carp. It was, and it's on one of my videos. He's literally comes up and circles around me.
Now, is there anybody that's put them in the water with, let's say, sharks or?
Yeah, Ken Dobo did. He's got a video on his channel. You have to go look for it, but he says he got attacked by sharks. He didn't get attacked by sharks, but he had a shark come by it.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, the other thing too is in the ocean, I would imagine the dolphins would think that is interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm not understanding your question. What's the buoyancy of the ROV? Are you asking what buoyancy is, or are you asking the amount? I mean, I'm not sure there's an amount. It just neutrally, what I'm told is that you need to be neutrally buoyant.
So when you put the arm on, that's what those little canisters are for.
Yeah, if you just put the arm on, it would want to sink it.
Yeah.
Because the ROV itself starts off neutrally buoyant.
So I would imagine you get good at estimating anytime you add something to it, how much.
Well, so when you pick something up, you know, you're fighting it. You can feel it. It's kind of it's similar to a windy day where you can kind of feel like you're fighting the drone a little bit. Like you've gone too far and the wind's, and you're coming back against the wind. You go, oh no, I wish I hadn't gone that far. You can feel it in the controls when you're fighting it. So yeah, it more weight, you know, that's not buoyant makes it harder to control.
Now, do they make an accessory? If, let's say it's got a couple of little CO2 canisters, okay, where if you wanted to come up and bring something else with it, the CO2 would inflate like a.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they make a. Let me answer Lynn's question. Lynn, I'm not going to ignore yours. I just want to get hers too. Amount, does it take on water to go down? So the Gladius Mini takes on water to go down. And then yes, as you surface, it does have a motor that expels some of the water as it's coming up. But yeah, when you pull it out of the water, you're holding it above the water for 2 or 3 minutes where it's draining out. Now that's the Gladius Mini by Chasing. It's made by Chasing, a different company and I have that one. It's kind of a toy drone, our toy ROV, but and it's the one that kind of got me started in this hobby. But the one that I have now is completely sealed up. It doesn't take on any water whatsoever.
Yeah.
And Paul, back to your question. So we have a retrieval system other than the ROV itself. It fits inside the claw, and I don't know where it is. It's probably at my shop. But it's essentially a hook with 2 gates. Okay, I'm going to say this is the hook, and it has 2 gates that only feed in on either side like this. So when something comes in, it gets caught on those gates and won't come back out. The whole unit fits inside that claw. You close the claw around it. Then you go down and, for instance, you pick up a net that's on the bottom, or you pick up a fish, a crab cage, or you can hook onto a car. Literally, if there's a car down there, you could hook it onto a car. If there's a spot that you could get that clamp in there, and then depending upon the strength of the rope that you have on it, and they've got some pretty high tensile strength rope that you can attach to it that's also buoyant. You could pull almost anything up.
So for retrieval, it sounds like you've got everything covered. It just takes more equipment.
More money. But the money is coming in, though, is the thing.
Well, I can see you definitely have Marcel thinking there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd have to turn around and all the money you made and reinvest it in order to make yourself bigger too, right?
Well, I mean, so one of the things that I thought about when I started doing this and people were offering me money to do work for them was what happens if I get out there and the battery goes dead? What happens if I get out there and I get stuck? You know, I mean, I realize the claw is designed to also help you remove obstacles out there. I mean, it's there's some videos of the guys crushing Coke cans with these claws, not full and sealed. I'm just, aluminum cans. So you could break something that's underneath a pier that you got your tether caught on, you could break free of that. But I think the second RV is really where it starts looking like, okay, I could do this as a business, and that's where the second one comes in. And
Yeah,
then
backup.
yeah, they're making all kinds of advancements super fast. I don't know why, but they just advertised on the QIC website a waterproof laptop. It has nothing to do with the ROV, but they have a waterproof laptop they're going to be selling. I guess you take it on the boat with you, and
Well, that would make sense though, if that live streaming became more of a thing, right?
but you don't need a laptop to live stream.
Not anymore.
I mean, I'm using my iPad to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your iPad isn't waterproof,
No,
and you're
although the Triple Tech is. Now the only reason I'm using the iPad when I and I haven't live streamed yet. I've tested it. I haven't done a live stream on YouTube yet. And there's a couple workarounds I need to do to make that work. It's not just straight away like Philly Drone Life, where he just goes live, he hits the button and goes live. There's a couple other things I got to do to make it work. But I have a data plan on my iPad. I don't have it on the Triple Tech, and I need to switch that over, so that will do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Curtis, you've answered a lot of questions, and
Wow.
and also stimulated Marcel into looking into it. And I don't know,
Yeah, you just spent a lot of Marcel's money.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
right,
you know,
have-
I hope I brought some content to the show.
Wow,
this is
man,
really
it's just been
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
wow.
Thank you.
Learned something new tonight.
Yeah.
Bunch of things.
I was going to
Yeah.
share 20
I
seconds.
told you guys and 10 other people that are watching, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron.
I just put together, I was playing around. Like I said, the trip to Yellowstone was kind of a wash, but I got about 20 seconds of clip that I just put together.
Yellowstone would be a great place to take an ROV.
Yeah. Put it in the hot springs.
Yeah.
See what's going on under there.
There's aliens in there.
Let me know if this is showing.
It's still black. Hit that. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Just a few clips. This is only like 15 seconds long. Just a couple clips that
Oh.
I've got in Yellowstone. It was just snowing its ass off there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I put this bison in slow motion. Moose I caught.
Wow, look at
This
that.
is that elk kill where the wolves got chased off by the dumbass cell phone photographers. The coyotes came in.
Yeah.
Lynn, I'll answer your questions here in just a second.
They were ripping into that thing though. That's
Wow.
all I
Look at
got. Yeah.
So, Lynn,
Hey.
let me answer Lynn's questions real quick here. I don't want to take up the whole show for you guys. I know you guys got other
No, that's fine.
So Lynn said the second ROV, the strength of the motors takes it underwater, or the weight of the ROV. It's the strength of the motors that pulls it under the water. And yes, it is paying for itself.
Well, Curtis, if I can back up your way this summer, you'll let me play with this thing.
You know, that's the beauty of having multiple ones. And I take guys out all the time, and I really, when I take guys out, I say, hey, can we film each other? And that's I think that's the most interesting footage, is when you go down and you're picking something up and the other guy's filming you picking something up. But what happens inevitably is the guys get out there and they start playing around. They're like, wow, check it out. And then we increase the rates and they're able to go speeding through the water. I mean, they'll zip through the water pretty fast.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So when I get them, I turn the rates way down so that I'm going just super slow. I'm from the old DJI school of, tripod mode, where you want to slowly orbit around an object.
Low and slow, right?
Yeah. By the way, so orbiting an ROV is exactly the same as orbiting a drone. But I had so many ROV guys who are seasoned ROV guys with $100,000 ROVs going, how are you doing that? So I literally went out and orbited a tire that I found in the water and did a tutorial on it, and everybody was blown away. I was like, this is like common knowledge. What?
Awesome. It's good though.
Well, you've got a skill set that the average person doesn't have.
Mhm.
Well, I got it. And it's something that all of you guys, so Ron, when you come down, orbiting would be no issue for you whatsoever. You get in there and go, oh, I can, oh, this is just like I always do.
Yeah.
It even has so they're very thoughtful in far as different modes. They have different flight modes. So folks that want to do mode 2 flying, they have mode 2 on there. They have a German mode, a Japanese mode, and you can select that. And so up and down is, for me, this is up and down. You can switch it to this side.
Mm.
You can switch all your switches around.
So
It's
you can
completely
make it just like a DJI controller.
exactly, and that's the way I have mine set up. The Five Fish also, you're able to completely roll over upside down if you want to, and it's really cool for stuff where you're like, if you're in the Bahamas and you got some friends in the water swimming, doing some artistic swimming or stuff, that underwater ballet kind of thing, and you're rotating the drone as you're filming them. I've seen some of that footage. That looks really cool. It doesn't look cool when you're trying to navigate in murky water.
Yeah.
You kind of get lost. So I have that. So on that
That
particular
almost
function,
sounds, Curtis, like FPV underwater flying.
which is why I have that function turned off.
Flip, 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 flip.
Flippity. No, it was flippity, flippity, flip, 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 flip. And then when you get to the end of the bridge, you go flip, 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 flip.
Yeah, Paul, this past summer, I went right through Curtis's area, and we just couldn't hook up. He was working.
Yeah.
We were only in the area a short time, and I was going to try and hook up with him.
Well, Ron, that sounds like you need to plan a trip there.
Yeah.
And
I'm
get
free on the weekends.
Beautiful country, though.
Oh,
I
look,
enjoyed it
look
up
at you
there.
talking. You're always out in beautiful country, man.
But I liked Olympic National Park. I was just so amazed by the
How close everything is, mountains to the sound.
the trees in the tropical rainforest section of the park. The Douglas firs and the what's the other one? Or the western
Red cedar.
western hemlocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
they're like redwoods. They're huge, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a rainforest, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally enjoyed Olympic National Park. I was yep. Paul Hodges, I saw your link. Oh, dude, that's like a what do you call it? One of my goals in life to someday get a ride with those guys. That'd be so awesome.
I was like, they're watching. The two guys are upside down, and
Yeah.
they're like 3 feet from each other.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm just-
hi, how are you?
Yeah, Lynn said it. Synchronized swimming. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't done live shows in so long. I forget to look at the chat.
But it's neat, Curtis, that you talk about like this in Puget Sound. We're staying in that little town, Squim.
Oh yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced?
it's
Spelled
Squim.
differently than it's pronounced.
So
Squim, Washington.
when you go there, do you go swimming?
No, Squim.
Swimming.
SQUI.
Swimming.
Pronounced
Squimming.
Squim. Am I pronouncing it correct, Curtis?
Yeah, it's an Indian word. It's actually longer, but they shortened it to Squim.
Yeah.
It's like Puyallup.
That's where we stayed for like 2-3 days, and then we went out to the Sound. We went through Olympic National Park, and went into Seattle and caught the ferry. Put the motorcycles on the ferry, and went across over to the island, and
Probably the biggest thing that amazes most folks is how quickly you can go from snow-capped mountains to the ocean.
yes, I was
30
blown
minutes.
away by
30
that.
minutes. You're in the snow, 4 or 5 feet deep. I'm exaggerating a little bit as far as depth, but you're in the snow. You're snow skiing, and you want to turn around and go down to the water, and it's 30 minutes away.
Yeah, we're up at what's that called?
Whidbey Island.
No, up in the
Everybody
mountains.
goes there.
What is it?
Everybody goes to Whidbey Island, so I figured that's where you were going to say.
Up in the mountain someplace?
No, that part of the park. It's in my video.
You know, Marcel has the same kind of tropics, you know, same kind of place that we have.
Same kind of weather.
Hurricane Ridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was beautiful up there. And then they said, yeah, we come back down. The weird thing about that area is the national park is there's 3 sections. There's the mountains with snow, there's the ocean, and then there's the rainforest.
Go on, go lay down.
Each area you have to go in and then come back out the same way and then drive a ways to go to the next section. And yeah, I thought that was cool. No, that was beautiful up there, Curtis. I enjoyed that last summer.
Mike Rennick said, "Thank you, Curtis, for the information. It's very entertaining."
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. You know, I get passionate about something, and it's like, I hope everybody else is interested in this.
Fantastic. Just
Oh,
sitting there
yeah.
listening to this. Just
The only thing we're not passionate about is the price tag.
You know, and I totally get that, and I'm glad you don't.
Yeah. But it sounds like I said, sometimes, you know, as they say in business, you got to spend money to make money.
Hey, Marcella, I put my Facebook link in there. We need to hook up and be friends on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're so close to me.
Yeah.
So you see this going somewhere though? You see a future in it, Curtis, or?
I see a future in it for me that I did not expect. You know, there's been times in life where I just kind of rolled into something that's like, holy man. Well, drones. I mean, I don't know. Have I ever told you guys the story of how I got started in drones years ago?
No.
So, I've always worked with Adobe and doing 3D graphics and stuff like that for God, how long? I can't even remember. 20 years now. And we were at a meeting. For those of you who don't know, After Effects is how we do all that 3D stuff that I do, the 3D motion graphics and stuff. And it's made right here in Seattle. The engineers are in Seattle. So they invite me down, not because I'm such a great guy, but because I'm the everyday guy. And they sit down and they talk about all these amazing things, and it's all math. And you know, you'll do mathematical equations to make this work, and I'll be the dummy in the room, says, well, why don't you just make it black? You're trying to make it black. And they go, oh, that's a great idea. Why don't we just make it black? They love having me around because I say the simplified things of things, and they go, oh, whereas, you know, engineers, they want to get really complex. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, we're there and we're talking about animating through a city, a fly through where you're flying through a city, and how's the best way to do it. And keyframes can kind of be jerky, and you can use Bezier curves and all kinds of stuff like that. But I had saw online where this guy had a drone in Japan or China at the time. I thought it was Japan, and was flying his drone. I said, well, why don't we camera track it? So in other words, we'll fly the drone. Doesn't matter where we fly it. We just fly this drone forward. We take the camera track information, which is keyframes, and we put it into the 3D software and then attach a camera to that, and it creates this fly through. And they're like, oh, that won't work. So I bought the Phantom 1, mounted a GoPro on it, took it down to Adobe right under that bridge I showed you guys earlier. I flew the drone. We took the footage into Adobe. We camera tracked the footage, took the tracking information, put it in the 3D software, and it worked. That was the end of it, except I had a drone now. So it sat on the shelf for about 2 weeks, and then it was a nice day, and I went outside, started flying. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I started playing with it some more. And this is back before we had monitors. You had to look up and kind of line things up. Like I wanted to film the clock tower, and I was like 10 feet over too far when I get back and look at the footage. And then you had all this jello going on. But that's initially, I fell into drones that way. I wasn't really looking for a drone. I just saw a guy on YouTube flying through the city with a drone in China. And I was like, oh, and I literally ordered from DJI in China. I ordered the Phantom 1, the very first one. Or not the first one that came over. I was one of the first people that got one of them. There are probably hundreds of first. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I digress. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see with the drone industry, and Paul can attest to this, he used to do stuff for the police, search and rescue or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But now all the police departments, fire departments all went out and bought drones. So now they don't need you because of that you know, they can fly. Do you think that would happen with the ROVs or?
So I have two stories just like that. I got hired by the railroad to help make safety videos. And the reason being is because I could put the drone above a train and show pinch points and stuff like that you can't necessarily see from the ground. And they thought that was really cool. Well, we did that once, and then I called them back, said, "You guys ready for the second video?" They go, "Oh, we bought our own drone and we have a guy that's going to fly it. But can you teach him how to fly it, and can you show him how to edit video?" And I'm like,
No.
no, you pay me to do it. And then they got upset with me. But that guy, they since bought him 3 drones, and he put all 3 of them in Puget Sound. So they gave up the program. Had the same thing happen with University of Washington. They hired me to come out and film some stuff and a promotional video for them to send out to students. Hey, this is the University of Washington. And we were supposed to do 4 shoots. We did 1, and I called them back. When are we going to do the next one? And they said, "Oh, we bought our own drone now." And this was back in Phantom 2 days. Long before we had, all this other fancy stuff.
Are they still using that?
Oh yeah. The college is still, they have their own drone program. They're training people now. So yeah, what happens is everybody gets involved in it, and the ability to make money just dies.
Yeah. Yeah, because like around here, the police and fire departments all went and got their own.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot of realtors are doing that too. They're getting their own. And
I got one agent, his brother does all the photography, inside and outside. And then all of a sudden, I went and did a couple of videos for him. Then he ended up with a drone.
no, well, I know Canada and US are different, Paul, but I had a local real estate agent, and I don't know, but he said, as him being the agent, but I find it very confusing with this. He said, as him being the agent, he doesn't need a 107.
Not true.
No.
In the
No,
US. I'm only talking about the US.
Yep.
No, it's the same in Canada. Yeah.
So
Because like Jeep,
furtherance of a business. He
Yeah.
said, nope. He said, I'm in my own.
Nope.
And I'm like, I disagree. And
yeah.
He's doing it's called a furtherance of a business. If you don't necessarily have to make money, anything that furthers your business, whether you make a YouTube video yourself for your business, that's a furtherance of your video of your business, and that you could be fined by the FAA.
he argued with me, and I'm like, I disagree with you, but you do what you want, and good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flip side of it is the FAA is not really enforcing anything.
Yeah. And here in Canada, I know right here,
That's not to say other
If-
drone
if-
pilots won't.
but if I do pictures or video, whatever for them, and like I charge them for, of course, but the thing is, if I'm not licensed, then I can get $1,000 fine, and real estate company get a $5,000 fine.
Ooh.
So my agents all got copies of my license in case they ever get asked, right?
Right.
So
Marcel's scoping out all my Facebook posts.
The other thing too is you start messing around with the FAA, and next thing you know, the IRS is involved, because the furtherance of business is cash. And they'll dive in and want to know how he's paying taxes on that additional cash.
Yeah.
It's an interesting show you had here tonight, Paul.
Wow, very interesting. Wow, just a what? Great
Curtis
night.
is always welcome to come
Yeah.
in and give us the titulating information.
Are you getting those bots in here tonight, Paul?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A couple of them, nothing serious.
Yeah, I might have to start jumping back on some live streams. I because of COVID, and I got so busy, but we got busy with the medical oxygen stuff. I was working Saturdays and just round the clock, it seemed like, and I just didn't have for a long time, I didn't even fly, which was just incredible. And I didn't feel like I had anything to contribute to what was going on. You guys started talking about the ROV stuff and then the questions, and it's like, it takes too long to type. I'll jump on.
Yeah, well, we're very glad that you did because
Oh, wow, yeah.
as you
I
can
ever-
see by all the questions, Curtis, it is a topic that people are curious about. I would say it's almost at the same scale of 5 years ago when drones got popular.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for weather to clear, but I've got it set up now where I can live stream from the ROV, just like we do drones. There's a few extra steps I got to do. I've got to have 2 monitors running, similar to what Philly does,
Yeah.
in the way that you're kind of back hacking into the thing to get it onto YouTube. And I've hesitated in doing it, thinking, well, nobody's really going to be interested in this, and I'm not that really versed on underwater life. I'm looking at a crab and I go, that's a crab. But at the same
Yeah.
time, there's a million different kinds of crabs. And I'd love to have somebody on board that knows all the different kinds of fish
Yes. Yep.
and plant life. We could spend an hour under there just talking about, oh, this is this kind of plant, or that's an oyster, or that's this, or that's that, you know?
Yep. Or that's what a shrimp looks like, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have any shrimp up here. We got squid and jellyfish and octopus. We have some of the largest octopus in the world, is what I'm told.
Really?
Well, I wonder how it would an octopus would react to that.
I don't know, and I'm honestly going to tell you, I'm kind of worried about it.
Yeah, because an octopus lives in the world of reach out and touch somebody. It's like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of octopus grabbing things underwater, and I'm honestly a little worried about it. That I would lose it.
yeah.
And there is no refresh program on this.
They come like a bullet through the water, and then all of a sudden the tentacles come up and grab whatever it is.
I've kind of worked this through in my head that they may grab it, but they're not grabbing onto something. And that tether is rated for, I think, 25, 30 pounds. So I think I could pull it up with the octopus on it. Now, how much damage it does, because it's got a little mouth and a little chomper in there.
Yep.
I'm wondering if it might do some damage on the way up, but I don't think I would lose it. I just think I would get some damage that I don't, even if it scratched the screen, that would be a pain. Somebody want to tell him we can hear him talking on the phone?
Finally make it home, did you?
There we go.
Lynn, not yet. We do have a lot of seals up here. I haven't gotten into. They tend to be out a little bit more in the open water. They do come into the little bays and channels where I'm usually at, but I haven't run into one yet. I'm pretty sure I will at some point. Yeah, they are noisy up here. They do like to mess around and play.
Yeah, Ron, that's definitely got to be a stop next summer for you.
Yeah. I enjoyed that up there last year. It was a fun ride.
Well, Ron, you come up. I'll probably have another one by the time you get up here. So we'll have 3 or 4 in the water. And like I said, I have no problem handing the controls to you. 5 minutes in instruction, and you'll be good to go.
Oh,
Can't really lose it.
Oh boy.
And Marcel, maybe the quarantine will be up soon, and you'll be able to go over and see Curtis too.
I just downloaded some files for me to print one, so we'll see.
There you go.
I don't need to go very deep.
Buoyancy is the thing you need.
Yeah, I don't need to go very deep. I only need to go wherever the drone is. So if it doesn't go as deep as it can, then next.
That'd be sweet.
I'll tell you.
Oh, the stew's ready.
Oh, the stew is ready. The bing bong went.
Yeah, the venison stew is ready. I just talked to friends of mine. They're going to come over for supper tomorrow night. So,
Oh,
Lynn, that's another possibility for income too, is the aquarium, cleaning aquariums out.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to be a certified diver. You just put this in the water and run it around, clean the windows. It's got a cleaner that you can mount to it.
We got the Vancouver Aquarium here too, so yeah, that'd be easy job.
yeah.
They've got a hull thickness, and I have no idea how this works. They just came out with it, but it mounts just like the claw does on there, and you can measure the thickness of steel on a ship hull.
looking for weak spots, huh?
I guess. I mean, a lot of this is very, very new to me, but
The technology is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Marcel liking all my posts, huh? I see you over there sneaking me out.
I checked a couple things, yeah.
Yeah,
Check
what,
news
you,
feed.
is there any kind of attachment you get for cleaning the bottom of a boat, like the barnacles or anything?
A scrub brush.
Like a rotating brush or something?
It's something they
Mr.
could
Clean
yeah.
attachment.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see. It wouldn't take
wax
much
off.
to do it. Wax on, wax off. Yeah, it wouldn't take much to do something that spins up front. You could power it off the battery. It would cut down on the amount of time underwater. But then again, if you're using shore power,
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be kind of a messy job, though.
There was
the
yeah, like there,
vacuuming- the vacuuming sediment out of a water tower is not
Yeah.
that dirty. I mean, you're literally just sucking up the dirt and you're not getting a lot of sediment around you. Whereas with cleaning the bottom of a boat, you're
well,
knocking it
it'd
off
be
into
just,
the water.
yeah. But there's a company they had YouTube videos, I think it was, or on TV, down there at the East Coast. But like they did a lot of things with ships and stuff. But they had the big ROVs. They'd even work out, like an oil rig, out in the water, the Hibernia and all that. But they had to actually put divers in the water, go along. They were scraping, $1 million luxury boats and stuff like
Yep.
that, right? But they had to put divers in the water for that. So,
You never know what the future's gonna bring.
There you go. This is right here.
There you go.
Keep it clean.
oh,
I'll be
It's
down.
literally just a little sponge rotating thing on it. That's pretty
Yeah.
Look at
crazy.
that thing.
huh.
Yes, Justin, you should.
Justin's still in the chat.
Dress up tomorrow like President JD. Yeah, it's just funny. Somebody asked me the other day, it's like, Ron, when did you get into drones? I said, funny you asked that. I just had my Facebook, the Facebook memories that come up. And it actually showed, it came up the other day. It was January 6th, 2017. At the time, I didn't do live streams or, and it's just so interesting now. I just like it so much that, like, a couple weeks ago when I left for work, 4:00 in the morning, there's one of two people I call on my way to work at 4 a.m. because I know where they're at. They're awake. It's either Tommaso Sullivan or Matt North. They're up. So I chat with them on the way to work.
Right.
I got that 3.5 hour drive. Yeah, things have come a long way. Just to see, like I said, Curtis, what you got there, the technology that has evolved over the last 4, 5, 6 years, it's just amazing.
Lynn's made a comment there about finding different stuff underwater, and she brought up an interesting one. I found what looked like a purse from the 1940s.
Wow.
So I got real up close to it, a female purse, and it looked intact. But as soon as I grabbed the metal clasp, the opening part, and started raising it up out of the water, everything just disintegrated. All I got was the clasp.
Mm.
So yeah, Lynn, I do that, but I don't think there's any money in that. I have pulled up a lot of stuff out of the water. I haven't made any money on that though.
I suppose some stuff though you got to call the police on.
We did find a pistol. We call the police on that.
Yeah.
I find skeletal remains and yep, gonna go.
I told you guys what I was going to do for Halloween, but I got busy and didn't have a chance. I got this skull from a spirit store. It looks very realistic. It's plastic. I drilled a couple holes in it, put some bolts in it to weigh it down, and I was going to drop it in the water. And I'll probably still do this. So if you guys are watching my live stream, you'll be in on it. But I'm going to put it in the water at about 2-3 yards away, and I won't go over to it. I'll just have it like in the corner of the view of the screen and see if anybody goes, "What the hell is that over there? Turn left, turn." And the comments in the
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. I hope so, because I'm definitely gonna try it. I won't wait for Halloween. But right now, I was gonna go out today because it was 50 degrees, but we've had so much rain and the ground is so saturated that when the sun came out, it just became instant fog all day.
Mm.
It was just a mess out there. So I didn't go out there today.
The whole northeast is a mess. Up there, up in Tahoe, my God, they got 190 inches of snow. That's like 17 feet of snow. It's incredible.
Insane.
It was so nice to come home today. I left Dickinson, North Dakota this morning at 7:15 below. I came to Pine Haven, Wyoming. It was 36. I'm like, dear God, I was almost in a t-shirt.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna go into a deep freeze here starting tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, high of 16 degrees. So I
16
think it's going down to 0 at night. Yeah.
But is that Fahrenheit or Celsius, Paul?
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna get really cold.
I'll take 16 Fahrenheit. I said the whole time, my last 10 days in Dickinson were.
Yeah.
it didn't
Oh,
get
there you go.
These fish are not afraid of it.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Showed a fish story.
Are they sunfish, aren't they?
I have no idea. I think they're perch.
Or, no, they're like a rock bass.
Looking
Oh,
for
they-
Nemo. That's
There's
what-
my chair. It's a great place to sit. At the bottom of the ocean.
You can tell it hasn't been there for very long.
No.
Yeah.
So this is right underneath the Aurora Bridge, and I kind of think what happened was they've had a lot of construction up there when we were doing this. I think they probably hit a bump or something, and it wasn't secured in the back of a pickup and come flying out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talk about the weirdest things you find.
Wow.
You probably find some pretty bizarre stuff under there. And it's probably just a matter of time before you do find bones and bodies.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Have you found any guns yet?
Yeah, we found a Beretta 9mm.
Wow.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it.
Yes.
No.
Good one.
Yeah, well, it's a 9:45. Quite, you had a good stream tonight there, Paul.
Good stream. And thank you, Curtis. And thanks, Ron, for being here. And Marcel and JD, as always.
Good times.
This
Yep.
is the other stuff I do.
Oh yeah.
I saw you had that on with Lloyd.
I don't know if you can hear the audio, but that's me playing guitar too.
Oh yeah. Kind of in and out.
Curtis does it all.
Wow, that's cool.
It's me and the TV up there.
Yeah.
And if you look real close, there's the five fish
There you go.
under the tree. And right next to it is the DJI Mavic Pro.
That's awesome.
It's my favorite part. The train interrupts the marching.
Wow.
They're not happy about it. They were having fun marching.
You look pissed off.
Good times. That's cool.
So it's a little late for Christmas, but hey, what the heck?
Yeah,
Hey, yeah, it's cool.
That's neat. Good job.
that was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
You guys have a nice evening and Catch y'all soon. Paul,
Thanks
thank you
everybody
having
for
me on.
being here. Yeah.
Thanks for putting up with all my stories.
But we'll
Take
do
care,
it again.
everybody.
We'll do it again soon, guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
very soon. Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye,
For sure.
everybody.
See ya.
Take care.
Yep. See you guys. Have a good one. Yep. Bye.
Well, Paul, hopefully I didn't take up your whole show.
No.
Oh man, that was fantastic, Curtis. That really made the show.
So yeah, I'm going to start making myself a little more available. I've got more free time, so like Saturday nights and Sunday nights, I might jump on.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, love you guys. I'm out.
Yep. See ya.
Bye-bye.